frame it and leave, eh?
Yeah, because Tom wants me getting.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Channel Island of Jersey, and in particular to the Farmers Cricket Ground, where we're all set for the final of the Brooks Macdonald Premier T20. We've had the semi-final earlier on today. Some of you will have been with us for that, and it's great to have you back with us for the final here, which is between St One Springfield, who won that semi-final a little earlier on, and Farmers Caesareans. Phil from 3CI Sport involved in the streaming today and organising that. We'll grab a word with you in a moment. But first of all, Phil's already been a busy man. He's been out onto the pitch for the coin toss.
Harrison, you chose to bat. I would imagine there's a fairly straightforward reason for that.
Yeah, like we did it really well in the first game. Runs on the board in the final, big pressure on the team chasing. So that's the reasoning behind it.
And from what you learned in this morning's semi-final, what will you take through into this game?
Just to be positive, like you don't have to hit massive shots on this ground for the ball to run away. Like the outfield is really quick. It's just good cricket shots, beat the infield, ball run away, like big scores around here. On a bowling front, same thing. Bowlers need to know that 2-3 boundaries can come from and over. It can happen. Just settle down.
Thanks very much. Best of luck. Let's bring in James. James, here we are at Farmers, your home ground, as it were. The toss didn't go in your favour, but presumably you know what to do this afternoon.
Yeah, not overly disappointed with the toss. Pretty happy to be bowling first, to be honest, and they just had a really competitive game and hoping to get stuck into their top order early and see what their lower order has to show for itself.
Best of luck out there this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, so St One Springfield winning the toss and opting to bat first, which worked out okay for them this morning, having to bat first when they were put in. They were the winners by 49 runs against Old Victorian. So in this format of the game, T20, pretty dominant result there to get through to this final against Farmers. And Phil, we enjoyed the first game this morning and the coverage thanks to you guys at 3CI and your partnership with Jersey Cricket, and all set now for hopefully a closer game this afternoon.
Yeah, I hope so. But also, just to comment on the coin toss there,
Yeah.
James called the coin. It didn't go in his favour. But I think there's a bit of me that thinks that he actually got what he wanted anyway. So batting second, fielding first means that they're chasing the score later on. And, you know, in this format, quite often teams much prefer to know what their target is, you know, ahead of going to work with the bat. So, yeah, we're in for a pretty exciting game, I'd say. Farmers, obviously, we're at their home ground. They know it very well. And we're delighted to be here with our cameras and live streaming on a beautiful sunny day in Jersey. And it's a great partnership we've struck up with Jersey Cricket to sort of solidify 3CI Sports connection with sport here on the island. And we're really pleased to be here, and it's good to have you here, Tim, on comms.
Good to be here, and we're not alone. Good crowd coming in for this final as well. Obviously, Farmers being in the final, their home support and their home knowledge of this ground as well. Although a lot of them were here earlier to watch that first game, just to get a bit of insight into perhaps how the pitch was playing.
Yeah, so Farmers obviously came up to watch the first game to get a little bit of intel perhaps, and now of course you've got this morning's losing team spectating, but also rapidly changed into their more civilian clothing and spectating from probably about 15 feet away from the bar, I would suspect.
Yeah, well, it's going to be, I should think they'll be as close to that as possible. It's going to be a really intriguing game after a really dominant performance this morning from St One Springfield. They, as we say, are batting first, and just taking a look at some of their lineup. I mean, some excellent performances this morning. We saw Dom Blompe with 60. So he's in line to come in at number 4. Harrison Carlyon, excellent innings of 49 as well, and
Harrison and Dom
he had a great game, didn't he?
Put a great partnership together in this morning's game as well. Harrison obviously very unlucky to get out on 49, but Dom went on for a really good knock, partnered by Robbie, I think it was, wasn't it, that came in after Harrison was out. So yeah, there's a really good set of batters to come here on the St One's team. And
relied a lot on their left arm spin. Elliot Miles, Kush Patak in there as well. Don Blompe with his spin. So real strong performance this morning. They set a target of 178 and were the winners by 49 runs against the Old Victorians. So that's the St One Springfield lineup. Just looking at the Farmers team sheet that's just been handed in as well. They got some young spinners like Toby Britton can turn it for them. Reece Palmer in there. So as the bell just goes alongside us to get the players into action. But yeah, you're looking at players there that from the game we saw this morning, spin and taking pace off the ball seemed to be the way forward. So Toby and Reece Palmer there. Joel Dudley will be strong with the bat, and Scott Van Breda, the former Jersey Reds player, is in that lineup as well.
Umpires taking to the field now, Tim, and the teams look like they're ready to go. Our opening partnership is standing by as well. So let's see what unfolds this afternoon. We're definitely in for a winner-takes-all battle to the death.
Phil, thank you. Yep, players making their way out onto the pitch. Live coverage of this game here in Jersey. Great to have you tuned in wherever you are around the world watching this live stream. And it's a live stream which will be with you for the next few hours to see which of these sides is going to lift the trophy, and also which of these sides is going to get through to play in Europe.
Tim, I'm going to leave you with James as your co-commentator for the first 10 overs. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you, Phil. Yeah, so the prize for the winning team, a trip to the European tournament, which is always a massive honour to go and represent Jersey out there as a club side. Pleased to say, alongside me now, I've got James Duckett. James, thanks for being part of our commentary team, and hard luck this morning. A tough loss to take.
Yeah, it was a really tough loss to take. You know, after having qualified last year and getting a bit of a taste of what it's like in Spain, it's always going to be tough to swallow. But I think we're in for a cracking final here.
I think those early wickets, it's always going to be a long way back from losing wickets in the power play.
Definitely. You can't, try and chase a total of 180 with having lost 3 or 4 wickets in the power play. It doesn't outwork.
So here we go with the final. James Duckett alongside me for the first 10 overs or so of this final, and looks like it's the man I was just mentioning, Scott van Breda, who's going to open the bowling, and used to commentate on him as a Jersey rugby player as well. So looks like he's taking the new ball, and everyone calls him Scott van Breda, but he's told me it's Scott van Breda.
Okay,
but
I will try my best.
Well, no, everyone says Breda, so it sounds like I'm the one that's getting it wrong. But maybe it's just that South African twang of his. Opening batsman then, Patrick Googe, and looks like Adam Hayward, is it there at the other end? Here's the first ball. Just out into the offside, and there's no run. Did someone Springfield surprise you in anything they did today? Obviously got a lot of spinners and slower bowlers, left arm spin in their side.
I think the slower bowling is the way to go on this wicket.
Yeah, hard to get away at times. This certainly won't be slow. There's the first run of this final.
Yeah, the quicker bowling is coming on really nicely on this deck. Jimmy's prepared a really flat deck, which is just flying onto the bat and flying off of it if you get hold of it. So their 4 spinners really took the pace out of the game, and that's Scupper does.
Wonderful shot from Hayward off the mark on his first delivery, and 5 without loss after 3 balls. Lovely shot.
Beautiful shot. Connected with that one a bit better than he did in the semi-final. Schnicked off, yeah, fantastic. He's up there at the top of the order just to bruise some boundaries about.
Yeah, so it's an interesting psychology actually when you've failed in your first innings, the first appearance of the day, to go back out there and I guess try and put those wrongs right, and he's out there now facing again. And again clubbing it down the ground. And despite the dive, all the way to the boundary and back-to-back 4s in this first over.
Absolutely, it's the benefit of having a big strong lad who can hit the ball hard at the top of the order. With the field restrictions, if you get a few away early and you're seeing the ball well, you get off to a flying start, and Adam's certainly picking up nicely today.
Yeah, he's on 8 after just the 2 deliveries. We'll have a word in a minute about what you kind of, having played out there, felt a pass score was in a moment. We'll just watch this one first of all. Just reaching for that one, and through it goes. Yeah, we sort of felt in commentary maybe 160-ish was a pass score.
I think potentially maybe a little bit lower. Yeah. I think we let them have 30, 40 runs in the field. I think we weren't fantastic on top of our game. So I think maybe 140, 150 would be a good score.
Advancing down the wicket, gets that nick again. This time not into the keeper's gloves, but as he found out this morning, this time all the way through, and another boundary to Adam Hayward.
If you swing hard, it's just going to fly. So it's good from Adam there. Just he knows if he makes contact, it's gone. If he snicks it off, it's just going to fly through the no slip. It's just going to go straight to boundary.
13 then off that first over from Scott van Breda. We'll see who's taking the new ball at this end. Looks to be the floppy-haired Toby Britton by the looks of things, which starting with spin from this end.
I think it's a good choice. As I was saying earlier, the slower bowlers certainly seem to take the sting out of the
And
game.
just taking that pace off it.
Yeah,
harder to get off
absolutely.
the square. Yeah. It's great when players have really distinctive hair as a commentator. I don't see the players every
Easily
week,
pick them
but
up.
yeah, it's much appreciated, Toby. In he comes for his first ball now. Then. And he's kind of, Toby Britton's burst onto the scene, I suppose, for those of us that don't watch the youth cricket in terms of adult cricket in the last couple of years, really.
Yeah, absolutely. He's played a lot of senior cricket recently.
Well, that's got a lot of height on it. I don't think it's going to go all the way. There is a man under it, and he's dropped it. So Britton nearly gets a wicket with his second delivery. And they get away with that one a bit.
Absolutely. I mean, Patrick Reeves is the man you can't drop. So that could come back to bite them big time.
So 2 runs scored. Britton comes in again. .16 without loss then. Good start this from the side that won the toss and elected to bat first. That one down leg side there I think will be a wide, and is. Yeah, I think so. This morning, obviously morning conditions are a bit different to an afternoon, but it felt like bowling first was the right option this morning. We'll just wait for this one. What do you make of that decision to bat first this time round?
I think I would have done the same thing if we were playing. I think the wicket's just gotten flatter as the day goes on. The sun bakes it out, and it's probably best to bat on right now.
A big heave-ho there from Hayward, not connecting.
And then obviously the trouble with batting in the 4th innings is, you use this deck for 2 games in a row. It could deteriorate, it could not. It may get even better in the 2nd innings, but I think batting first was the correct choice.
Quick run here, opportunity if it's a direct hit, that will be really close. There's some overthrows in here as well, potentially. It was always going to be tight if it was a direct hit, but maybe too tight for the umpire to feel confident enough to put his finger up. You've got to be sure on those run-outs, and that looked pretty tight. We might get a view in the replay in a moment, but good first over from Toby Britton, and nearly a wicket in there.
Yeah, the umpires usually give the benefit of the doubt to the batter when it's that tight without the addition of replay. So I didn't let that out from where we were sat.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be tight, but it didn't look like a clear out. Let's see the other one. I think we'll try and get a replay of that run out appeal in a moment. I mean, the umpire did have a good long look at it, but I agree with you. I think if they're that tight, then it's got to be a not out decision. So it looks to be a change of bowling straight up here at the far end. And furthest away from the pavilion, for those of you that know the Farmers Ground, our commentary position just next to here's the run out opportunity. Yeah, he's certainly over the line. It's just whether he'd grounded the bat at that time, wasn't it? Looks to be just home.
Just home.
Yeah. Greenwood then to start a new over.
That could have been tight if the throw was better.
Yeah, that would have been tight. So they're, I suppose if you make it, it's good running.
Yes,
if you don't
very
make it,
much
it's
so,
not. Yeah. But yeah, they are turning over or rotating the striker early on here. If you are just joining us, one opportunity drop catch in the previous over. Full toss is dispatched down the ground, but just for the one by the looks of things. Good to see a lot of the players staying around.
Oh yeah,
a lot of
course.
obviously with Farmers in the final. Good support around the ground as Greenwood bowls again. Another full toss. This time I think it's going to go. Yeah, straight down the ground. And 4 more to this SOS total. But yeah, good to see a good crowd in. And does it feel like an occasion this final day in
Yeah,
sort
absolutely.
of local cricket?
It's always a good occasion every year. You know, they put on a good show up here at Farmers.
Again, fullish delivery. This time not quite the full toss, but dug out.
I think all of our lads were keen to stick around and have a quick drink and something to eat and watch this. It could be quite a spicy fixture after the previous round of games. I think got a little bit out of hand, a few level ones issued, so could get quite spicy.
So there might be some beef out there and on the barbecue that's going on. That one's fired in short, and it'll just be a single to backward square leg. 29 then, without loss, going along nicely. I think Hayward's looking for a run every ball just to rotate it. Yeah. Yeah, needs to make sure his communication's on point again full. And we saw that actually in your game earlier. Not necessarily from the spinners, but the pace bowl is actually a low full toss. wasn't a bad ball.
No,
Just
absolutely. It's never really a bad ball. I think you're trying to hit that Yorker length. The
Yeah.
low full toss is almost just as hard to get away. Yeah, I mean anything on a good length here and back of a length at a speed will sit up really nicely for the batsman, as I think we found out a couple of times.
Britain going to continue from this end. Maybe a bit of his bat's come off there. I saw a speck of white go up into the air as he hit it, and he is just clearing something off the pitch. So I wonder if it's the toe end of his bat's come off, giving something to the umpire.
Don't want that on the length. Turn a mile if it hits that.
Yeah, plenty of space out there. Running well in this power play.
Absolutely, it's always good to keep the scoreboard ticking, even if you're not hitting the boundaries. Haven't had a boundary for a couple of overs now, but they're still accumulating runs at a nice rate.
Well, they're accumulating a few more there. There is that boundary that we hadn't seen for a fair few balls. Straight down the ground, lovely strike, and 6 onto the total. He struck that lovely.
Fantastic hitting from Adam, yeah, up the hill. Quite a big hit out there, so yeah, connected with that really nicely. I would suggest having bowled out there, floating it up is probably not the option. Just more of a
Bit more whippy,
speed.
yeah. That was a full toss. Is this going to be the opening wicket? It is. It's well taken. One that you would expect him to take, but had to stoop forward to make sure he got it. And Britain, having seen one dropped off his bowling in the previous over, takes the first wicket, 38 for 1.
I think Adam came in and did his job there. He was just setting up the order to score a few runs very quickly, and 24 off 11's got the Wannies off to a great start.
Yeah, he had to make up some ground at the end there, and like I say, it's one you'd expect him to hold on to, but made sure he did, particularly after that one going down the previous over. So the previous over from this end, 38 for 1, and in comes Probably the man of the match from this morning, I would think. Don't know if one was presented, but made 49 runs, Harrison Carlyon, and was it 4 wickets as well, I think. So
Played very well this
yeah,
morning.
had a good captain's knock there to help his team through, and there is some strength there with Don Blompe to come as well. Those two were
I think
the
this
pick
is
of the
the key
batsmen earlier.
partnership. This is the key partnership for the Wannies here. These two lads hit the ball really well.
Yeah, if they bat
very
long.
nicely. Yeah,
Yeah.
if they stay in for any amount of time, it could get a little bit away from Farmers here.
Yeah, first that ball out into the leg side, and that's still a couple of balls to go in the over. Is there one to go in the over?
The life of a spinner, fielding off your own bowling when it goes into the deep. Often
Yeah.
done.
And another one is gone. Was it Googe's time?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's gone. So just as we were saying, that if these two could bat long and stay together for any length of time, it would put St One Springfield into a really strong position after a bright start. 2 wickets in the space of just 3 balls, and 38 for 2 now.
Yeah, that was a bit of a soft wicket. That just chipped up to mid off there, off a good length. Probably should have hit through it, gone over the top, but yeah.
So these are the two at the crease now that did the damage in the semi-final. Don Blompe with 60 and Carlyon with that 49. There for a large chunk of the 20 overs in that semi-final. So again, it feels like, and I know we said it about Patrick and Harrison, but it feels like now if these two can just steady the ship a little bit for a few overs. I mean, it's tough in T20, isn't it, when you say phrases like steady the ship, but you don't want to make it. From their point of view, 39 for 4 is not good. Yeah,
absolutely. You don't want to lose another wicket here, but 20 overs is longer than you think. You can consolidate for a couple, 2-3 overs, and still make a good score. You know, they've still got a couple of batters to come after this, so. But you also want to make use of the power play, and 2 overs left. They're probably thinking at least 60, probably off the power play.
Ambradar back on. Well fielded. There's a bit of confusion in the middle, but ended okay. 39 for 2.
Very nimble from the skipper there. I've not seen that before. It's usually behind the stumps, but fantastic in the field.
Yeah, so that's Jack Kemp, is it, behind the stumps? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Might get through for one just with the fumble, and they do. Still quite a strong breeze blowing across the ground here at Farmers here in Jersey, but lovely day. Just clouded over a little bit more than I was expecting as Ambradar bowls again out into the leg side this time. That's the batting to come. Nightingale, Forrest, who had a good knock earlier on.
OV, Robbie Forrest.
Yeah, you're quite right. Out into the offside, no run that time. Stays at 41 for 2. And these batsmen just biding their time here.
Yeah, I think Farmers have done a pretty good job of reining them in the last couple of overs. Looked like they were set for a pretty good total out of the power play.
Yeah, good couple of overs, 2 wickets in the previous over. Again, plenty of space there. It's a relatively easy single. Yeah, I was out in the middle in the break between games, and there's quite a strong breeze blowing. He's got the flags that we can see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think it's sort of going down the ground
Yeah.
a little bit, which is downhill as well. So that's the hitting zone if you're batting at this end.
Another misfield, been a few of those already, and allows him to get through for one more.
Misfields add up. We had quite a few in our innings. Unfortunately, I think we let them get probably 20-30 runs more than they should have. So, although these are only just for 1s and 2s at the minute, Farmers will be wanting to clean that up for the rest of the innings.
Another change of bowling, just a switch of ends. After Britain took a couple of wickets in the previous over, maybe just holding him back. Would you have given him one more over, having taken 2 wickets in the previous over, or was...
Toby?
Yeah, or...
It's always difficult. You don't want a batsman to get used to someone's bowling, if they've been out there for a little bit of time. With 2 new batsmen, potentially you may have given them another one, with wickets being very key early on, but if you save him to the end, then he's a good bowler, so he'll restrict the runs.
Again, some good running. This pair of the benefit of having faced a fair few balls earlier on today, so they'll know the pitch. Another one. I mean, it was slightly awkward, but through it goes for 4. Another misfield.
Yeah, that's one of those, you'd be backing your fielder to stop. It was pretty much straight at him, just took an unfortunate bounce right in front. Always tough, but got to wear those in the chest, I think, and put your body on the line.
Have you seen much of Greenwood since he's been over here playing?
We played against him once. I think he scored about 20-30. Got dropped first ball, which could
Painful.
have been very unfortunate for us.
Here he is bowling again. That's dug out. That's better fielding.
Nicely done in the field there by Reese.
Yeah, gets some
I
high fives from his teammates.
Greenwood obviously came over and scored 100 first game and showed what he's about. But I think he's known more for his batting than his bowling.
Nicely played again. There is a fielder out there. Just the one. Yeah, just happy with these ones at the moment. Still a healthy run rate at 8.5.
Yeah, I think it's a period of consolidation at the minute, isn't it? Both of them looking to get set before they make their move and play a few more shots.
Just be the one as well. So 9 off the over from Greenwood, and the half century up in that over.
Pretty even power play that, I think. A couple of early wickets, good for the bowling team. 50 off the power play, you take that as a batting side, I think. game's pretty nicely in balance here.
Just to update you, the score on the screen is a couple short of the scoreboard here. I think we're just having a few issues with the score bar at the bottom. We'll get that sorted as soon as we can. 52 for 2 is the score on the scoreboard here in the ground. Van Bredar continues from the far end from where we're looking on. Out to Britain on the boundary. One bounce back in. Who would generally be the bigger hitter of these two if they, if they were to form a 10-over partnership here?
I think Harrison's probably the bigger hitter of these two. Blomstead's a very good batsman himself. He looks to probably sweep, nurdle a little bit more. He did that very well against us this morning. Whereas Harrison probably looks to score, well, not score quicker, but he'll hit the ball over the top a bit more.
Lovely, lovely shot. Not going to go all the way, but they will come back for a couple. Just seem to deliberately get under that one and lift it.
Absolutely. As I said, pace on the ball helps with this on a flat deck. Lifted it nicely over cover there.
Another nice shot, but for no run.
Picked the fielder out perfectly there. I learnt the lesson from this morning of hitting to mid-off and getting a run out.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, nice shot, lovely shot. Again, just for one though. Yeah, there was a real mixed bag this morning. Some excellent fielding and some not so good.
Yes,
all mixed.
I'd
mixed
say
in.
very frustrating, a little bit, but yeah, I mean, just wasn't there today.
So end of the over. 55 for 2 is the score on the scoreboard here in the ground. We're just having a few technical issues down with the scoreboard at the bottom of the screen. We'll sort that as soon as we can for you, but 55 for 2, the official score. And Britain coming back on from the end nearest the pavilion. Again, a fully flighted delivery, looking to bowl full still. I think at least one of the 2 wickets he took was a full toss that was skied. So
yeah, sometimes it's the ball to go to if you want a wicket. Batsmen's eyes light up and they just don't quite connect with it. It's nicely bowled.
Just a reminder, if you're just joining us, this is the finals day. This is the final T20 here in Jersey in the Channel Islands. I know we've got people tuning in from around the world, so good to have you with us. Again, classical shot out into the offside. Again, happy to just take the one.
Someone's will probably be looking for probably about 80, 90 after 10 maybe, and then they'll look to cash in the last second half of the first innings.
Dot ball, not seen too many of those of late. They've been good at rotating. Dot ball there. Again, a full delivery. It's. I wonder if did it hit the back of the bat up into the helmet, perhaps?
Essentially, Blomps would be annoyed with that one. That's, you know, he would be looking to sweep that straight over into the farming buildings behind the hedge there.
Cut away, at least one, just one. There's not the same sort of energy between the wickets as that earlier partnership, I suppose. Seem to be comfortable jogging through for ones rather than putting the fielder under any extra pressure. But yeah, I guess their build partnership, they're comfortable rotating the strike as well.
Absolutely, you know, you don't want to have a stupid run out here.
No, to do without
it's the
that.
last thing you want when you're trying to set a partnership up with two of their better batsmen.
$60 for 2 is the score.
There's a sign there. Can you go on the other side, please? This is. Go out through the door over there, mate. Yeah. Yeah. Next time, can you come down the fence? It's for a reason.
So 60 for 2, 8 overs gone. Yeah, I think they'll be looking maybe just to up it a little here in the next couple of overs. Not timed that well, that one, and no run. Who do you think will be the happier at the moment, or even Stevens?
I think it's pretty even actually. I think both teams won't be too upset with the current state of the game.
Again, going full. Again, happy to jog through for the one.
It's always tough when you play 2 games in a day, and you know both these guys spent a lot of time in the crease in the first game. Getting your body back to how it was fresh is almost impossible.
Again, a nice shot for no run. This is Will Pershard at the far end bowling now. And the score stays on 61 for 2. Yeah, nice shot there. Not quite as bright around the sky as it was earlier today, bit of cloud in parts of the sky away to our left. That's a meaty looking shot, and one bounce and over the boundary for 4 runs.
Yeah, Dom was waiting for that one. I think, you know, Will was bowling some nice deliveries there first up, but then at this level you'll always get 1 or 2 bad ones and over, and just got to wait for them, and bided his time perfectly there.
Well, unlike this morning, they managed to find the ball relatively quickly, if it's the same ball.
Not an easy task in those fields, I'll
No.
tell you.
And we're ready to go again. Lompy on strike. looks like maybe he's a bit frustrated out there at times at the moment. Lompy just finding a fielder. I know he had the boundary the one before, but he's looked like he's been frustrated. He hasn't cashed in a bit more on some deliveries.
Yeah, I don't think he's got too much to be frustrated
No.
about. I think maybe if he just put it to the side of a fielder a little bit a couple of times, he would have been a bit happier. But Dom, that's just how Dom bats. He's a passionate bloke, and you'll see him do that all the time.
66 for 2 after 9 overs is the current score. If you weren't with us earlier, St. Juan winning the toss and batting first. Now the spin of Reece Palmer coming on from the pavilion end. Not totally timed, but again they'll get one. One is definitely the most common score in this innings, and it's often a bit like an action replay, carbon copy of the previous
One's
shot.
not a bad score, you know.
Yeah.
It's always
Yeah.
keep the scoreboard ticking. It's when you get stuck down and have 2 or 3 dot balls, that's when the mind starts to wander a little bit, and you're trying to think of how can I make this up, what shot can I hit to get a boundary, and that leads to disastrous results.
That one's going to get out towards the boundary, but there's a fielder there, and in it comes, going under the dive again. Reece Palmer bowling from this end, plenty of Jersey experience down the years from Reece. Again, he's happy to put it up there in the hitting zone.
Yeah, Reece will always bowl flat and quick, and pretty full most of the time. He's got a good Yorker on him, but very rare you'll see him toss one up.
He's got the protection out on the boundary for any that do drop loose as well. But yeah, outside off stump again. That's a lovely looking shot. That's going to fly to the boundary. Fast outfield over there by the looks of things. Absolutely flew across it, and 4 more runs onto the total.
Fantastic shot there from Harry. Connected nicely. That was a little bit more fly onto that one, and I think Harry's eyes lit up a little bit.
.75 for 2. Nearing the midway point in this this first innings of this final. Again, a slightly awkward bounce, but this time fielded well. It's just the one. And that is the end of the over and drinks. So I think that's your stint done, James. You released back into the wild, and thanks for spending some time on commentary, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me, Tim.
And we'll bring Chuggy Pershard in to replace you in comms.
You want it, Gally?
Well, I don't know if Chuggy Pershard's run scared there or not. He's turned away, and we're blessed with Luke Galishon instead. Played in this morning's game. Yeah, we're all good. 10 overs in. I thought we'd be having a drinks break, but did they sneak one in a bit earlier?
Moved on straight away, haven't they?
Yeah, maybe not as hot as it was, but yeah, they've moved on. And 76 for 2. What do you reckon?
I think
Who's on
someone
top?
will be happy with this for now. These two are the main guys, but having said that, Robbie Frost coming in and whacking 30 off 11 in the last game, which is unsurprising. So he's really developed as a young player. So you never know what they could come with. And they've also got the Guernsey captain, Ollie Nightingale, on the hutch. He doesn't seem padded up at the moment. So I'm not sure whether they've changed it around a little bit with Robbie in some good nick.
Yeah, that might be a possibility. And you had enough partners today to bat with, didn't you?
Enough partners, but yeah, we just get to the ball boundary enough, and I think SOS scored probably 15 more than we wanted.
Yeah.
155, 160 is chaseable. As soon as anything over 170, the last 10 overs they went at 11 12s. Dom and Harrison batted really well, and then obviously, like I said before, Robbie coming in, smashing it around the park was tough to take.
Just looked like it was dropped a little short that off the glove, and again it'll be a single. We were just saying in commentary an awful lot of singles in this game, just rotating the strike, keeping the scoreboard going. With the odd boundary in there, but they seem happy to take singles and keep rotating the strike.
Yeah, I think like the boundary is going to kill you in this game, and that's the main aim. If you keep them in singles and go 6, 7 and over, then you're happy with that. But as soon as you get a couple of boundaries in the over, then you're struggling.
Yeah, lovely classical shot down the ground again. Just be that single.
Who is bowling down? I don't recognise them.
Is it number? Yeah, our graphics are down at the moment, but we'll try and check that. Is it? Would it be Adam Bradbury?
Could be Adam Bradbury.
Potentially,
yeah.
I think that's number 30 on the shirt. Yeah. Yeah, Bradbury. It is.
Oh, that's a nice shot. This is where SOS were in the first game, 70 odd in the 10, and then they got on to 170. So they're probably looking to do the same.
Yeah, I mean, if these two bat the next 10 overs, it's going to be a pretty ominous chase.
Especially with Farmers having not Chuggy and I don't think Julius is bowling either, so they're few short bowling wise.
Fielder out there on the leg side boundary, in on the bounce.
I reckon they're going to be targeting anything above 160.
Yeah, well, we felt in commentary earlier that 160ish was par, but James Duckett was saying he felt par is a bit below that. Again, just the one. Keeping the scorers busy. 81 for 2 is the score in this 11th over.
Oh, that's great stop by Reece, one-handed diving to the left. That was definitely 4.
Yeah, brilliant piece of fielding. That's a couple of decent stops from Palmer in the first 11 overs of this game.
That's unusual for the rig as well. It looks like they're having a drinks break now after 11.
Just to break with tradition, just gone as far as the 11th. Yeah, going to be a drinks break here. Chance for everyone to catch their breath. So what we've got, 81 for 2 is the score. 11 overs gone. And yeah, I think a lot depends on how long these two can stay together out there.
I'd say they're probably going to go again for the next couple of overs, and then after that 6, 7 overs to go, then they'll absolutely try and fly through it.
Yeah, just as the players come off. Yeah, just to confirm that just having some issues with the live scoring on the bottom of the screen that we've had and all the stats. So we're going off a scoreboard here at the grounds, away to our right. We'll try and keep you updated perhaps a little more with the score than we normally would when it's on the screen. Players just down in front of us having a drink. Some just taking the chance to get into the pavilion as well.
This could be where the second game could really struggle for SOS as well. They've played 2 games in the second game in the heat now, so especially these two batted for the majority of the first innings as well in the first game. So depending on how their fitness is, we'll see how they go.
Yeah, I went out to the middle between the games, and it's actually quite chilly out there if you just stood still in shorts. But I guess it's a different matter when you got your pants on and you're running up and down. But yeah, they've both of them now have spent a lot of time in the crease today. At the crease today.
They know their games well as well. They bat well for Jersey as well. So they've known each other growing up, and they're a few years apart as well. So they know their strengths and their weaknesses.
Yeah, a number of players out there today on both sides with Jersey experience. Mentioned Reece Palmer a short while ago. Got The two batsmen have been involved for some time now. I was saying earlier, I still think of Harrison as a young kid. I think he was the youngest to ever play
Yeah,
when I first saw him.
He went on the tour with us
16,
in Malaysia, and he had a couple of practice games, and then made his way into the full first 11, which was absolutely fantastic. And then from then on, he's taken the opening batting role, especially in T20. He's enjoyed it. So
I see. Tony Carlisle and his dad's here. I remember seeing them both play out in America.
TC. He was there's a few,
same size. A few injuries that day.
A few injuries, and we lost a few players on that trip. And TC, he was actually the manager at the time. He stepped up and he bowled a few overs against Italy, and you know what TC's like. He's quite competitive. So
it's good trip that actually. Good win by 1 run against the US, who obviously had a pretty decent home World Cup.
Yeah.
So it sort of shows you what can happen.
Oh, definitely.
That's one of the joys of Jersey being an international team. I mean, obviously it's different in rugby with being clubs, different in football with the Bulls being in the English league. But one of the joys, I suppose, of being a cricketer here is that chance to test yourself internationally as well.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's so nice for men's and women's cricket, so playing international cricket, and you get to go around the world, and Jersey Cricket and the ICC fund most of that as well. So the fact that you can have that opportunity to go around the world, play different teams is absolutely fantastic.
And was someone saying you're involved coaching the women's side as well?
Yes, at the moment I'm assistant coach for the women's side, which is great. So I stopped for a little bit towards the end of the last season. But the 2 new coaches again coming in have really stepped up, and Darren is doing a good job at the moment. He's just working out what their skills are, and he's just fine tuning them. But no, they're coming on nicely. They played Ireland under 19s and another Irish side last week, and they're going to Germany in a few weeks' time. And there's another T10 tournament in December for Spain. So there's lots of opportunities for the women's side to come through and represent Jersey.
That one just dropped a little shorter. There's no run. Score 81 for 2. Saying earlier, a decent number of people that have stayed around from the first game, and obviously a bit with Farmers being in the final, those that have turned up for it as well. Decent crowd enjoying the barbecue, and again some good looking shots out there. They're just not beating the field at the moment. But yeah, good crowd enjoying the beers, I'm sure.
I can imagine Nick Greenwood here just trying to bowl Yorkers at the stumps, giving them no width at all.
Yeah, some tight bowling here from Greenwood. Both batsmen now into the 20s on the scoreboards. 82 for 2. Got there between them, the 2 fielders then.
4 dots in a row here. I feel like something's going to happen.
Yeah, into
Especially
the second half
after
of the
break
innings.
Well, so I guess to start getting moving. It's the 12th over end now.
Carlisle is on strike. Well, it's ended the dots, but yeah.
I think that's Will Pershard diving. He's dived a couple today, stopped the one-handers. It's only 1 off that over, straight after drinks.
Yeah, very tight stuff from Greenwood there, and
now Pershard's giving the ball. He's coming on to bowl.
Yeah, maybe it feels like maybe a bit of the momentum has gone out of this, and I think you're right. I think something needs to give in a moment.
Yeah, something brilliant.
83 for 2, 12 overs in.
We talked a lot about which end to attack, so I can't imagine Harrison's looking to smash it over the leg side boundary on this side. If he was going to attack, he'd attack from the other end, especially the short side. It's probably 15 metres difference. It's not a big hit to the leg side from this end.
Well, we'll see. I think they're in a good spot. They've got wickets in hand as well, but these are the big 2, I suppose, to try and get here for Farmers.
So Bob.
84 for 2. Again, another full-length delivery, this time playing across the line and out into the leg side.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Yeah, just got the weight perfect.
Oh, a good feeling
And again, just the one.
from James Smith.
Yeah, did well to restrict it to just that one. 86 for 2 in the 13th over here. Will Pershard at his bowling, and he comes again.
Giving no width at all the last 4 balls. Last I'd say couple of overs, Farmers bowled really well.
Yeah, it's a good comeback from them actually.
Yeah. Adam Hayward and Paddy Goose got SOS to a good start, but since then they've bowled out the stumps and not given them any width, and that's what you need to do here. Oh, that's a chance. Or is it?
Ooh, it's an excellent effort. It may well have stopped the 6, but it's not the catch that he would have hoped for.
This could be a run out.
And that's going to be close. That may well be out.
That is poor cricket. That is very poor cricket. What's happened there? Hit it out to deep mid off. He's parried it in, stopping the 6, and the batters have looked like they think it was going for 6. Caught midway in the wicket, turned and tried to run a second and be run out from the deep mid on fielders ran round and taken the stumps. So thrown the ball in and they've taken the stumps.
Is that one of those where you're watching the ball, watching the fielder, and
Yeah.
you're not looking at where your teammate is, or thinking about,
No.
you know, it's in the air for long enough to probably have run 3.
These boys have known, they've played enough cricket to know that. That's under 14s, under 15s cricket, and that is a big opening chance for Farmers to try and get a couple wickets.
Well, here's the replay. Here's
There we go.
the fielding down on the boundary.
Oh, it's done very well.
Did really well. It wasn't really a catching chance, was it? It was stop the 6.
No,
really, yeah.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't. It was the same fielder throwing her back in as well on the one bounce and taking them. It was a great dive from Dom trying to get in, but
Yeah, it was pretty tight, wasn't it? But the umpire, they tend to give them when they're sure. But we'll have a look and try and pause that in a moment at the relevant moment. But
no,
fingers straight up.
some great cricket and their great shot, great fielding, and then just to finish with that poor bit of running. We'll see how that affects the score.
Yeah, 88 for 3 now then, and
The Guernsey skipper, Ollie Nightingale's walked in.
yeah, so he's. We'll speak about him in a minute. Here comes Pershard again. Yeah, so Nightingale, he's been in Jersey for quite a while though. Is that playing club cricket here?
Yeah, so he moved over probably 3 or 4 years ago, and he was someone's skipper actually last year.
Okay.
And then Guernsey said to him, "We'd like you to come back and skip with the side for the national team." So he said yes, but he's still eligible to play for someone's.
Yeah.
Under various rules.
Yeah, and he's got a job to do here in supporting his captain. 89 for 2.
All right, okay.
How you doing, Luke? Okay.
Harrison is still the big wicket here. He's on 28 not out. If he goes on to get 50, 60, or they get up to 160, and that could be a winning score.
Yeah, he's had a fine day so far. We'll be trying to continue that through. Palmer it is that's going to bowl.
That was a great shot.
Yeah, right off the middle. There's a man out there. Yeah, I wonder if Reese is just flighting it a little bit more than he normally is. He's obviously keen to get it full and not drop short, but
I can imagine he'll flight it a little bit to Ollie. Ollie will like pace on his little dabs and behind on 45 and third man, little scoops. So I can imagine he would take the pace off a little bit here. But if Harrison, I would probably fire it in and York length if I was Harrison, if I was Reece here. Sorry.
89 for 3.
There you go. And
Yeah,
that should be cat. Oh,
tried the dab straight away.
That's come off the bat, I think, then hit his shoulder or helmet. And,
Yeah, I thought I heard a sort of a solid helmet sort of noise, yeah, so maybe off the bat onto the
He's
helmet.
quite lucky there, Ollie, because I think the keeper knew where that went, but he's going to be looking to dab and reverse sweep. Look at, you can see where he's standing, almost outside off stump. There's a little check for the batter because the ball has hit his helmet, so there has to be a little check by the umpire for concussion. I think that's what they're talking about now.
Yeah. Well, the umpires are coming together to meet here.
Reece has got his hands out as per. Come on, Reece.
The umpire's just conferring. Are they conferring about whether it's a dead ball or not? I don't know.
Here we go. Palmer's ready. There's always fireworks when Reece is bowling, which is always entertaining.
Here he comes again.
Yeah, it's a nice shot. Farmers will be happy at those, just one.
Yeah, it does feel like the innings has stalled a little bit with the loss of the wicket, but even before that we were saying something needs to happen here. Still on for a good score, imposing score.
I mean, runs on the board, anything above 150 in a final, you never know what could happen. Farmers are a little bit weaker with a few other players missing. There you go.
White ball signalled. Bowler Reece Palmer not delighted with that call, I think it's fair to say.
Oh,
Good shot.
it's done well there. That absolutely flies away down the third man there. There was lots of runs in the first innings, flew away there, but not so much the second innings. Second game, it looks like they've bowled a lot straighter. Is that out?
That's aerial.
Just over cover.
Yeah, for a moment the cover fielder or extra cover fielder was
got
interested
round.
in it, but it was aerial, but it's been cut off at the boundary.
That's James Parsher at cover. Usually behind the stumps.
92 for 3 is the score in the 14th over. Harrison Carlyon on 31 now. And hits that one out into the offside again.
I can't remember when the last boundary was. I think it must have been quite a while ago.
Yeah, there was there one down the ground?
That was all
Was there one this end? Can't remember. It's been a while, yeah.
It was a good shot from Harrison. Nearly went for 6 and parried back in.
That's
But that's
right,
the one
yeah.
I remember closest being to the boundary. Other than that, Farmers have constricted them. 6 overs to go, 95. What if we go 10 and over? 150.
Yep.
Just over 150, which is a good score. Do I think it's a winning score? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I
so
think the big wicket will be for SOS was to get Nick Greenwood.
Yeah.
If they get them, then that 155 is very much a winning score.
yeah,
If
so
they get him early on.
we'll perhaps have a chat about the Farmers lineup in a minute and who might be the ones to look at. As that's
Well, that's a great shot through cover, but
another nice
protection.
shot. They're hitting the fielders a lot, aren't they? Or
Yeah.
the fielders are well placed, one or the other. Yeah, the Farmers in terms of the batting lineup, Joel Dudley will be somewhere near the top of the order, I would think. Greenwood,
Kemp.
Van Bredars knows how to swing a bat.
I can imagine they will probably go Dudley, Kemp, and Greenwood. 1, 2, 3. Not sure how they'll go. Greenwood definitely open, and then they'll go between Kemp and Dudley.
Adam Bradbury is bowling from this end now. 14 overs gone, 96 for 3. They're into the 15th over.
Yeah, still got a few lads to go. They've got Robbie Forrest and Elliot Miles, the ex-Jersey player, still too. Oh, that's well bowled.
Oh, there's going to be a mix-up. There's a massive mix-up here. Should be a run-out at the far end. And it's given. The batsman doesn't look happy about it, but I'm not sure if he's unhappy with the decision or unhappy that he basically ran to himself. He was right the way down towards Harrison Carlyon, got sent back. It did take a little while to get the ball there and then to get the bails off.
I like the umpire took his time, didn't rush it there. That's what I always like as a run out. Make sure you, as an umpire, make sure you know exactly what you're going to give. Here it is.
They're incredibly difficult to give in real time.
So difficult.
Here's the replay. Ball went to the other end.
At the striker's end, and here we go. Ball's there. Oh, very tight. Very, very tight. Almost looks as Ollie have put his bat past the line.
Yeah.
Rather than sliding it in.
Didn't slide it in.
Didn't slide it in, put his bat over the line, and again, that's 2 run outs, and you know, you hope that's not happening under 14 cricket. Here we go. Freeze frame, yeah.
That is tight, isn't it?
Over the line, and you know, didn't slide it in, which is a rookie error from the Guernsey skipper there.
Yeah, incredibly tight. Yeah, I mean, those in real time, like I say, I've done a bit of umpiring when I first moved to the island. It's incredibly difficult to
Put it over the line,
them
not slid it in.
That speed. Another gorgeous shot. This time it might beat the
Oh,
fielder. It has.
That is a super shot. Great comeback. This game ebbs and flows, and it's all about momentum.
And that's the 100 up as well for the loss of. The scoreboard says 4, but I feel like it's for 5. We'll get that checked in a minute. If you're just tuning in, we've lost the live scoring that we normally have on the screen, so we're trying to keep you up to date. But past the 100 now, that's the 100 up with that lovely shot through the covers.
Oh,
this time
the bowler got away with that one. Harrison was eyeing that one up. Didn't quite get out in the mid out to deep square leg.
Yeah, not timed. Sort of took a hand off the bat as he played it as well. And yeah, I think you're right. I think, and this is.
Oh, here we go. We've got the figures back, so you'll be able to see the figures on the. I think. Here's Robbie Forrest. So Robbie Forrest was the game changer in the first game. He got 30, 32, 33, I think, off 11 balls. He was absolutely fantastic. So let's see what he can do in the second game. Can he propel SOS up to 150 plus, 160 maybe?
Yeah, Forrest on face.
That's a wide ball.
Yeah, Bradbury just not getting his line right there. He'll be sent back to go again. Carlyon on 38 runs now. Forrest yet to get off the mark. Bit uppish there, but one bounce into the bowler's hands. Completes the over. And 103 for 4 is the score. Into the final few overs now. You know, it's crept on this innings, but the scoreboard didn't keep rising at the rate that we saw certainly early on. 103, so 5 overs to go. Yeah, 10 and over, still looking at that 150 mark, I suppose. 150, 160. Is Greenwood coming back on? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Greenwood. I think it's for his last over.
Yeah. I feel like we've seen a fair bit of him, so yeah, I think this will be his 4th and final over.
I think he likes to think of himself as a mystery spinner. He holds the ball in different ways behind his back and comes in and depends on how he feels, he tries to tweak it each way. It's definitely handy. Definitely a handy player.
Carlyon's still there.
You can see the drift. Played
Yeah.
it well though.
Forrest off the mark.
we haven't mentioned Julius at all as well, so I think he'll be in the top 4 or 5 for Farmers. He's not bowling today because he's injured himself slightly, so he's just holding himself up because he plays twos cricket in England, county cricket, so, and can definitely hold the bat. Favours the leg side. So Farmers have got some firepower, top 4 or 5. I think if SOS get to 150 here, they'll be very pleased, and then they'll rely on their slow bowlers.
Nice shot off the middle from Forrest. Got our scoring back by the looks of things, and it shows a run rate, sorry, of just under 7. Big appeal for LBW. Looks a little high, maybe. The finger is up.
We'll have to look at the old the replay, but as you said, Tim, I think that looked a little bit high, but we can't see it. Get a great view from out here, so we'll have a look at the review.
Yeah, there's been, we saw from the pace bowlers earlier, there is a bit of bounce in this wicket, and it just looked to me in real time like it was maybe going over the top, but we'll see.
When it hits the back thigh pad, you're always dubious as a batter. I mean, I am a batter, so I would lean towards the batters and not be given out, but we'll wait and see if there is a replay.
Yeah, and Carlyon, the man, Harrison Carlyon, the man to go, and for the second time today falls in the 40s. Pretty much a runnable 40 to, he will hope set his team on their way to back-to-back victories today. We'll just see,
there we go.
Obviously we can't see the line from this this replay, but we can get a view of the height. Ooh. Is it just above the pad there?
Looks just above the pad. I think it's one of those where it's 50-50, and I think Harrison can count himself a little bit unlucky, but I understand from the umpire why he's given it. It's straight, and
he was back in his crease.
It's probably clipping the bails. It's
well,
tough
he's gone.
To be an umpire, and that's it. So Ben Healis is walking in, young lad. Didn't bat in the first game, didn't get down to him. He is a left-hander as well, so that brings a different dynamic to the last couple of overs.
Yeah, and the age of 16, big moment for him out there on finals day. 107 for 5.
Ben's a very good hockey player, so I can imagine he's going to favour the leg side quite a lot here.
And he's gone, first ball. This maybe turned. We'll have a look at that one on the replay as well. But gives an idea of the sort of bounce that there is there, because it felt like that hit quite high up the stumps. But back-to-back wickets, and
so that's Greenwood's finishing his spell.
Yeah, I wonder if some of the graphics at the bottom aren't quite correlating. So I wonder if he's still got another couple of deliveries left, which we shall see. 107 for 6, though, is the score. Here's the wicket.
I think he's trying to listen to the leg side. Like I said, he favours the leg side quite a lot, and we just looks like he's just played around that one.
And you see the bounce there, yeah, which gives you an idea of the previous one for LBW. May just have, I know, different delivery, but it gives you this kind of idea of the bounce that's out there, even off the spinners.
Elliot Miles, old Buster, walking into the crease.
And you're right, that is the end of Greenwood's spell.
4 overs roughly for 2 for roughly 25.
Won't get a chance for his hat-trick delivery.
No.
Some people try and claim those on the next match. They take a wicket with their first ball, but that's
well, I'm not sure when he will next play for Farmers, because I think this might be his last game for Farmers before he flies off with Jersey to. I think they're going to Germany. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, that's coming up. Yep.
So,
yep. Well, he's finished with the ball well there, and he'll hope to finish well with the bat in the run chase, which is to come. So Elliot Miles is at the crease, in at number 8. Again, bowling full, as so many of the fast bowlers have done today. That's turned into the leg side.
Yeah, we did say something was going to happen, and 2 or 3 wickets have fallen in quick concession here, and now 108 for 6 after 16. It's not looking good for SOS to get up to that 150 mark, which I'm sure they were hoping to get.
Yeah, they'll be desperate now to make sure it's 130 absolute minimum, but feel like they might need some more. We'll see. Dug out, big puff of dust goes up, and no run. You weren't with us earlier. Someone winning the toss, choosing to bat first. They batted first this morning, but were put in. But trying to post something here to defend.
Oh.
And another wicket falls. This really feels like they're losing their way. 108 for 7. And Miles lasting just a couple of balls.
Again, hitting the stumps. Last couple of wickets have been three wickets of hitting the stumps at LBW, and you know, full and straight. That's where you need to bowl up at Farmers and try and just put the field straight as well. Bowl one side of the wicket. And Farmers for the last probably 7-8 overs have done really well with that. Helps when this is their home ground.
Yeah, and they had a chance. Obviously, St Albans Springfield had a chance to play in the game this morning, but at least Farmers had a chance to see that game and how it panned out, what par score might be. This is Patidar, I think, making his way to the crease.
Yeah, Sam Patidar, another young lad.
Not making his way to the crease with any great speed at the moment. He's taking his time to get out there.
He's just taking it all in. Taking it all in.
So around about three and a half overs of this innings remaining, and the number 9 is at the crease, and 108 on the scoreboard. It did look for a long time like it would be more 150-ish. But credit to the Farmers for their bowling effort and their fielding. It's been again, there was a few lapses early on, but it's been some good moments of fielding. Not least that 6 that was stopped on the boundary that led to the run out. Great bit of skill on the boundary there.
Again, we're bowled
Yeah,
just over the stumps, nice and straight.
Yeah, good line and length.
There's obviously a lot on the line in this final. The winner goes to, well, we think it might be Spain. It might be, It might not be Spain, but it'll be somewhere in Europe in the T20. In the T10.
That's the T10s, yeah. So that's lively stuff. We were saying earlier, lively commentators on that, on the live feed of that.
And that is good for Farmers and OVs. So the two clubs have gone so far from Jersey.
Yeah, so I guess that's something that will drive someone Springfield on, and drive both teams on. But having not gone before, then they'll.
It's a great addition, and I think it gives the club cricketers who don't play for Jersey or in the Jersey squad something to try and achieve. And I think the past couple of years has really brought the T20 competition almost alive.
Yeah, nice shot there. Will only be the one.
How many overs left? Nearly just under.
So the
3 overs to go.
Yeah, the scoreboard here is going to just about. I think we'll to go from 16 to 17. So 3 to go. And 112 for 7.
I'm sure Toby Britton's got one left. I'm sure he'll.
Yeah, he'll have one, I should think.
Can't imagine Reese has thrown his name in the hat as well to bowl. He's got the ball at the moment, and he's given it to Toby.
Yeah, it feels like a day for those players that take pace off the ball.
Definitely with his wicket.
The spinners, left armers.
Jimmy's produced another great wicket. He'd love to be a batter up here. I'm not sure so much about being a bowler.
Well, it is Britton, you're right.
The young left armer.
Couple of wickets to his name earlier in the game. Back on now, around the wicket.
Well, that's a good strike. Could be 2. It's coming to Julius's right-hand side. But no, that's great fielding.
Yeah,
And that's why Farmers brought Julius back. That's absolutely great fielding. It's just a game changer. Could have easily been a 2, but not even on the one bounce, straight over the stumps on the full. No chance for 2.
In the 18th over then, and 113 for 7.
Oh, that's a nice shot. This should be 2 if he turns and goes. Oh, he's not gone. It was a nice shot from young Sam Patidar. He was unlucky not to get 4 there, but again, good fielding on the boundary. Oh, sharps.
That has absolutely flown off the bat. But again, as a fielder there, I mean, you have to give credit to the field placements. But I feel like St One Springfield have had loads like that where it's just they've hit it nicely, and it's been a one, or it's been a straight at a fielder in the circle.
The boundary field's done well in the past 3 balls, get to their right or left, and only stop it for 1.
Yeah, good from Britain this.
It's going to be a great experience for Sam Padidar here. Oh, it's flighted. Just chipped to deep mid on, taking the 1.
Yeah, Patadale, another of the 16-year-olds in this side. 3 of them with Healis and Aston.
Oh, there we go. He's moved across, moves outside off and swept in behind square leg for 4. Much needed boundary for SOS here.
Yeah, they needed that.
2 overs to go, I reckon. 120 if they get up to 10 and over. Just under 140, and then that is runs on the board, so you never know.
Yeah, James Duckett told me 140's past, so we shall see. We shall see. I mean, the one, was it 177 in the morning game?
Yeah, 177 in the morning game, and I mean, I think that was probably 15-20 too much. I'd say between 155 and 160 is probably par here. I mean, like if you don't score that as a batting team, you'd be a bit disappointed. But like I said, it's the second game. It's probably going to bring it down by 10 runs, and also a final as well. Probably bring down for, say, if they get 140, you never know.
This is Bradbury again. Just a play and a miss there.
He's only gone for 13. There's 2 overs. Is he another young lad? How old's do you know Adam?
No, I don't know. I don't know his age, but yeah, looks to get it through quite quick. Not off the middle of the bat again, but adds 1 to the total. In this penultimate over can often be the one that gets smashed around, but we've got some of the lower order.
Rob has just looked at his leg side. I can imagine this is going to go over the top or a little scoop. Let's see where he goes. Oh,
it's a flat batted shot. It's in the air,
and that one's out.
Yeah, taken by Smith. No problems there. And the 8th wicket falls for 121 inside the penultimate over of this opening innings. Set the total that Farmers are going to have to chase on their home pitch. I think they'll be pretty pleased with how things have gone. Here's just a look at that dismissal.
Just moved leg side of it and tried to hit it over cover like he did in the first game. Just didn't get quite all of it. Looking for the short boundary. Probably fell 5 metres short. James Smith running in, deep cover, taking it cleanly.
So Kush Patak is on his way to the middle for the final over and a half of this St One Springfield innings, which lost its way. Harrison Carline again the top scorer for his side. Unless these two do something ridiculous in the next 9 deliveries. Bradbury it is to continue.
A little bit of a misfield from the bowler. Nice to sneak one on Toby, slipping as well, mid off.
It's chaos. They're tough those when you're the bowler and you're in your follow through. But I think he would have hoped to have stopped that one. But they get through, and the score moves on to 122 for 8.
Oh.
Wide ball given.
Struck well. One bounce to deep mid off. Can SOS get a couple of boundaries here? Get him up to 140.
Not middled, but it'll be at least one, and they settle for the one again.
Oh.
And the throw nearly takes out the batsman, who just looks back over his shoulder to ask what that was about. End of the over, end of the penultimate over, 125 for 8, and big last over needed if they're to reach that 140 mark. Try and grab a word with one of the players at the conclusion of this innings, in between innings. Should be a relatively quick turnaround, and then full coverage of the run chase to come as well here on the live stream.
So Will Pershad to bowl the final over of this innings. Well so far, 3 overs for 1.
Yeah, 1 wicket. He's
only gone for 16.
He's kept it tight, hasn't he? Yeah, it's good figures. See if he can finish off with good figures here and complete the job, and complete what I think farmers would feel is a job well done if they can have a good last over here.
Struck it well, but again, only 1. This could be 2 here.
Bat on ball.
Could be 2. Should be 2. Direct hit could be close. Oh, Julia's absolutely fantastic. Sprinted in from deep mid on. Looked like to be an easy 2, but direct hit changes the game.
Yeah, there was no one at the stump, so it had to be the direct hit, and it was. We've seen some disappointing fielding at times today, but we've seen some cracking stuff as well, and that is one that's right up there. Had no option but to hit the stumps direct, and that's exactly what he did. I think they were right to go for 2, because it looked like there might be 2 there. Had to give it a go, and I guess in those situations you're just hoping that the fielder misses, but he certainly didn't. Great throw, and here's the replay. You see the bowler Pershad left the stumps, I think.
Moving on to the 30-yard circle. Yeah, Pershad went to chase the ball.
There's no one there. Bang! Oh, was it Reese that just got there at the end?
A bit far away. He was never.
Yeah,
never
I don't think he would have had the time to get his hands, and then.
No, that was great fielding. There's this young Barney. Is it Barney Aston?
Coming into bat. Barney Aston. Yep. In at 11.
Oh, good strike.
Yeah, nice sound off the bat. Down to long off just for the 1. More backed up by the keeper as well. Last few balls of the innings then, and creeping up towards 140 if they can finish strong, but not as many as they would have hoped halfway through.
Great shot.
Yeah, played it on the move, didn't he?
Great shot of 3, reset that cover, and they're looking to get 2, maybe 3. No, just 2. Oh, another buzzer. No. Up to 130.
Yeah, so we've got a match, we've got a contest, we've got a target that should prove a challenge. It feels a little low to me, but it's a final, isn't it? So there'll be nerves out there. There'll be.
I think the power play in the next innings will determine the game, and whether it is a contest or not. You've got Elliot Miles, Harrison Carline, Don Blumpy coming in, the slow bowlers, spinning it different ways. So those first 6 overs are key, and if someone's take a couple of early wickets and get Greenwood out early, then it could be SOS to win. But those first 6, there's no early wickets, then I'd be backing Farmers to go on and knock this off.
Last ball of the innings.
Over cover. And a big gap here in between 3 fielders. They're trying to run 3s, turning and going. Yeah, he's done well. In and gets in.
Yeah, there weren't many 3s in that innings, but we finished with 1. And just wait for the scoreboard to tick over. 1-3-4 is the final score. 1-3-4 for 9. So they did make it through the 20 overs, which it looked like at one moment they might not. But yeah, 3 to finish. 1-3-4. Who's going to be the happier side, Luke?
I think Farmers are definitely going to be the happier side. Some ones at the halfway stage were 70 odd for 2, and since then they've only put on 60 and lost 7 wickets. So Farmers, the last 10 overs have absolutely been fantastic. Bowled up stumps and taking the chances. Fielding's been great as well. So I think they're definitely going to be the happier of the 2 sides. And like I said before, the next 6 overs are going to be key into this final.
Harrison Carline again. There we see on the screen the top scorer of the innings with 40. Pretty much a runner ball. Some support there from Adam and Dom, but Harrison again the top scorer. And then some bowling figures there. Greenwood 2 for 25. Toby Britton picking up a couple as well.
Again, slow bowling worked well, so I think it'll be slow bowling in the second innings. And I know Harrison took 3 or 4 wickets in the first game and he thoroughly enjoyed it, so we'll see how he goes in the second game. He's a very competitive player, and he's looking at me right now over there, but yeah, very competitive, and I'm sure he'll early wickets, you never know.
Luke, good to see you again. Thanks for joining us in
Much
commentary.
appreciated.
Luke Galachant, OV's player, joining us here in the commentary box, and we can get some reaction to that innings that we've just seen then. 134 for 9. They've finished up, and let's join Phil down by the boundary edge.
Thanks very much, Tim. I'm here with Harrison Carline. Harrison, how are you going to set about defending that target?
A lot of intensity, a lot of pressure. Like runs on the board at maybe 20 odd short of where we wanted to be, but still runs on the board is pressure on them. They've got to go and get them. Pitch is starting to grip a little bit, so that should suit us hopefully. I think we've got probably 3 of the best spinners around in the league, so yeah.
And just talk to me a little bit about what your observations were with the bat just now. We obviously had another good score for you, but frustrating.
Yeah, frustrating, like just getting a bit tied up in the middle. Every time we wanted to start going a little bit harder, lost a wicket, foot back off the pedal and stuff like that. So a few short of where we wanted to be, but it's a target to bowl out. We bowled OVs out for less than that in the first game, so all it is a couple of big wickets up the top of the order, and that's it.
All right, best of luck with the reply.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Harrison Carline there reflecting on that innings, made 40 for his sides as they finish on 1-3-4. So 1-3-5 will be the target that Farmers, the home side, will need to chase down if they are to win the trophy and get that trip to play in the European T10 competition. So that's the midway point in this finals day here at Farmers. We will be back very shortly with the run chase to see if Farmers can knock off the 135 they need to be the champs. So welcome back on the live stream, nearly ready for the run chase. Farmers chasing down 135 will be their target if they are to win this finals day on their home turf in the sunshine. Let's find out what the Farmers skipper made of it all. Phil is still down by the edge of the boundary.
I've got James here and a +1, James.
Yeah, this is little James.
Congratulations on the first half of this game. What's your approach going to be in the return?
Yeah, so we're pretty happy with the first half overall. A few little mistakes, but a few nerves in there, I'd imagine, as you'd expect in a big final. Ultimately, wickets in hand is going to win us this chase. So as long as we can keep a few wickets left over, I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine come the end. But it's always nervy in a chase, isn't it?
Little James got his pads ready.
Not quite yet.
So yeah, you think you're quite comfortable in chasing this down. Are you going to put a number of overs on this for us and let us know how confident you're really feeling?
As long as we chase them down, I'm a happy man.
Excellent. Best of luck out there.
Cheers, thank you.
Tim.
Thank you, Phil. Yeah, 135 is the target then, and we're expecting the players, well, they're just on the edge of the boundary at the moment. I think I just heard someone saying that it's only going to, there's still got another 7 or 8 minutes to go until we get back underway, and when we do, we'll bring you the action live.
He must have a ball in his hand 24/7.
So the players starting to make their way out into the middle, the fielding side. St One Springfield just in their team huddle, having posted 134 in their innings. And they will get together as a group.
Our team's batting now.
So the players starting to make their way out to the middle. St One Springfield having posted 134 in their innings, and Farmers looking for that 135 to be crowned champions and to head off to Europe again. Pleased to say alongside me is Farmers player, jersey captain Chuggy Pershard. Chuggy, what do you reckon? 134, a bit below par?
Yeah, I think some ones will be a little bit disappointed with where they finished up, particularly after sort of a strong start in the first 10 overs.
Yeah.
Some kamikaze running, probably the difference between them getting up to sort of that type of total that they reached in the first game. So yeah, I think they'll be a little bit disappointed, but you know, they've got a great bowling attack, St Ones. They'll be right up for this, and I think probably if anyone can defend it, St Ones will be a pretty good candidate for it.
Yeah, I mean they were really good this morning in the semi-final to get through to this one, and they will have a tough job, I think, of defending this, especially if this opening pair get going. We've got Greenwood out there, is it?
Yeah, Greenwood and Joel Dudley out there. One thing's for sure with Joel, he's not going to hang around. Greenwood probably will also look to put back to ball as well. And the Farmers lineup is quite a deep one today. I know the guys have been chatting about sort of being aggressive at all points, and I don't think there'll be too many blocks and leaves going on in the first 6 overs in the power play. So I think we can be prepared to see some big hitting.
And how about yourself? Gutted to not be out there yourself, helping your team over the line here.
Yeah, disappointed to be ruled out with a groin strain today. But if it was if this was a Jersey Cup final, I might have sort of pushed myself through it. But we're off to Germany next week for the European qualifiers. So a prudent decision perhaps not to play. So yeah, disappointed not to be out there, but we've got a great side out there today, and the boys look like they're going to do the business. Touch wood.
Looks like Barney Aston's going to open up with the ball here, as we're all ready, I think, to get underway in this run chase. Strike on the pad first up. Looked first glance maybe going down leg.
Yeah, I think maybe just angling down, perhaps a little bit high as well. But Barney bowled beautifully in the opening fixture, and he's bowled well all season for St Ones. Exciting young talent that Jersey Cricket have got here, and yeah, hopefully he'll be able to sort of put on a good display tonight.
Well, first runs off the bat in this run chase, and it's out to a mid-wicket, sort of straightish mid-wicket position, and just the one run. And the Farmers' chase is off and running. Of course, Farmers have had that joy of heading off to Europe, to Spain before, but the great prize that's on offer for this competition now as well, that trip.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic incentive for all the players out there. Some have been to Malaga, some haven't yet, but those that haven't have heard all about it. And I know some ones haven't yet qualified, but some have travelled there with the Jersey side, and everyone's dead keen to get out there again.
Yeah, good start here from Barney Aston. Good line and length in his opening 3 deliveries, and just the one coming from it so far. If you weren't with us earlier on, St Ones Springfield won the toss, chose to bat first. They batted first actually this morning in the semi-final, put in on that occasion, but opting to bat first here and to try and post something that's daunting for Farmers. But I think Farmers will fancy their chances here, and that one again just played out into the offside, and there's no run.
Yeah, a little bit of a watchful start from Greenwood. Farmers played St Ones a couple of weeks ago, and Aston actually got Greenwood out first ball, so no surprise to see Greenwood maybe just give himself a couple of balls. Yeah, it's not too daunting a total, so I think he knows if he can bat the length of the game here, Farmers should win, so maybe he's not going to come all guns blazing.
Yeah, digs that one out. He's bowling well here, Aston, only 16 years old as well, one of 3 16-year-olds in the St Ones Springfield side.
Yeah, definitely a bright prospect for our under-19s. They don't have one of the European qualifiers coming up this year, but I know they do next, so Barney, I'm sure, will be spearheading the attack for that. That's a good shot.
Yeah, lovely shot, and as happened in the previous innings, actually, a lot of those good shots finding the man on the boundary and restricting it to just the single. So just 2 off that first over from Barney Aston. Both batsmen off and running. Joel Dudley at one end, former rugby player, and Nick Greenwood at the other. He was had his stint on commentary earlier on today, so everyone's been dragged in. We've dragged in anyone we can find, to be honest.
And it looks like it's going to be Elliot Miles from the other end.
Oh, I thought he meant in the commentary box.
No.
That would concern me, actually. But no, he's coming on from, yeah, so starting with, which worked really well for them, the left armers, the spinners, pace off the ball seems to be the flavour of the day. We saw Toby Britton pick up a couple of wickets, Reece getting 1 or 2 there as well. So, yeah, it feels like taking pace off is the order of the day.
Yeah, I think we can expect to see plenty of that from this St Ones team as well, with with their attack, they've got three of the Jersey international bowlers, all three of whom are spinners. So Miles, Blompier, and Carlyon, all with plenty of international wickets between them. So I think it'll be a barrage of spin mainly for the St Mons boys today.
Well, it's a good start. When you've posted a score that most people seem to think is under par, then you need to get off to a good start with the ball, and that's what they've done in that first over with just the 2 off it. And now we'll see what Miles can do from the other end. Just the one. Saying earlier, Chuggy, good crowd up in terms of players that have stayed around to watch the second game that didn't win in the first. I'll come to that in a moment. Yeah, we've seen obviously with Farmers at home, good support up here for the final. Barbecue going again, I see.
Yeah, definitely. Well, T20 Finals Day is the pinnacle really of the Jersey cricketing domestic calendar. Yeah. It brings most of our clubs together. 75% of our clubs are all taking part in the fixtures today. And it's the competition that everybody wants to win with what's online. So it's always a really supported day, and there's no surprise that all of the teams out here today have about full strength really. All of the players sort of put this in their diary right at the beginning of the season, and they make sure they're not on holiday for this day. It's a big fixture.
Dudley on strike then, just tried to turn that one round the corner, but no run. Tries to repeat that, not quite timing that, and again no run. Was it a wide ball signal?
Wide ball.
Yeah, I wondered if it had flicked the batsman on the way through, but wide ball signalled.
Oh, this could be a chance.
Yeah, well, he's got under that. He might escape. There's 2 fielders coming into it, and neither of them got within 5 yards of it, and then an awkward bounce as well deceived them both. So. And we saw a couple of those in the first innings actually, of skiers that dropped somewhere between 3 or 4 different players. I suppose in the power play, when you've got so many fielders in one area of the ground, there's always going to be spaces like that. But not the cleanest strike from Dudley.
That's tidy wicket keeping from Googe though, down the leg side, not given a wide, but very good take nevertheless.
6th without loss then in this final. And Miles back at the start of his, I was going to say run up, but walk up. There he goes. Yeah, happy to let that one go through. That's the end of the over. Again, pretty tidy. One opportunity in there, or could have been an opportunity had the fields been not so spread, and that vacant area when Dudley skied one up into the air, but got away with that, and 6 without loss. I mean, with the score being slightly lower, there's no need to absolutely to go for it from the off, but you've got the advantage of the field placings in the power play. You might wonder if they'll start to swing a bit more and take advantage of it. Don't really need to though.
Yeah, it's certainly a watchful start.
Here comes Barney Aston. Yeah, that's a lovely shot through the covers and all the way to the boundary.
Yeah, great shot from Greenwood. Lovely high elbow. It's beautiful batting. One of his stronger shots, Greenwood, through the covers. Anything pitched up, he'll drive very, very nicely. And probably an important boundary for Farmers. That kind of breaks the shackles, and the first of the Farmers innings just takes off a little bit of pressure. Another tight over, and I think these two might have started feeling a little bit of pressure.
It puts the pressure back on the bowler, doing it off the first ball of the over as well, and he comes again.
Yeah, good batting, 4 followed by a single. It's often talked about as a great bit of cricket from Greenwood there to get off strike and give Dudley a go.
Yeah, so Dudley obviously came across from Jersey Reds. Was he, as soon as he left there, he came across here? Has he been here a few seasons at Farmers now?
Yeah, he's been with us probably for about 5 or 6 seasons now. It was a bit of an unfortunate end for his time with the Reds.
That's right, yeah.
You know, he had to retire with an unfortunate blood clot issue, I think it was. So, you know, it was a fantastic scrum half for the Reds.
Yeah.
Played many years for them and professional rugby in the UK as well. But you know, he's a terrific sportsman. Joel also plays hockey for the island and is one of our better hockey players as well. And you know, you can probably tell with how he bats actually that he's a hockey player. He's sort of great sweep shots, reverse sweeps, lot of bottom hand in how he bats. But he, great athlete.
Just advancing up the wicket there, a couple of strides in before guiding it behind square. Gets another run there, and Farmers move on to 13 without loss. Sort of tennis ball bounce there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Bit of aggression shown from Aston. He dug a few in the first game, and you know, got a couple of wickets, or he certainly got one wicket with the short ball, and could have had a couple of more if it weren't for top edges falling safe. But yeah, good bit of bowling.
Oh, a little edge on that, I think. Guides it past the keeper. And 4 more onto the total. Just leapt a little bit that as well, actually.
Yeah, a controlled, guided edge, I think, potentially. So, yeah, good batting, good bowling. Unfortunately for Aston, it's gone for 4, but Dudley will certainly be happy about it. It looks as though he's got a clear plan here, though, Aston, and he's actually doing very well to bowl to it. He's got a deep mid-wicket out and a deep square leg. And I think he's just basically saying, you know, I'm going to try and bowl back of a length, and he's executed that, and it's, you know, not a bad delivery, good shot from Dudley, I'd say.
And there's that repeat of the 4 followed by the 1 again, and Dudley gets himself down the other end. Although this time at the end of the over, he's not escaped having to face the next ball.
Yeah, good over for Farmers, that one. Certainly takes the pressure off with a couple of boundaries, no dot balls. Takes the run rate up to 6 and over. So Farmers just about on track with the required run rates. And you know, nicely set to be none down after 3 overs with 2 batters that are starting to really feel the pace of the wicket. And yeah, it's a good start this from those 2 out there.
Yeah, plenty of wickets in hand, 3 overs in this power play, and it's going to be Miles to continue. Not middled, but it's another run onto the tally. Some big hitters in this Farmers side. We'll perhaps talk about the batting lineup in a moment after this ball. Oh, that's going to dip. And again, we had this in the previous innings. The batsmen have just watched the ball in the air and get through for 1 eventually. But seemed to dip a bit in front of him.
Yeah, I think Greenwood probably thought that with the wind behind him as well.
It's going that way, isn't it?
The ball might have helped the ball might have been able to carry to the fielder. But yeah, he didn't quite sprint in as well as he could.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he'd misjudged it a bit, I don't know.
Oh.
Swing and a miss there.
Yeah, well bowled from Buster, really pushing it through, and you know, it's another good delivery. He's a canny operator.
Yeah, good start from him. Run rate of 6 so far. Early stages of this run chase, 135 being the target.
Bit slower there from Miles, and another single added onto the board.
Yeah, so this Farmers batting lineup, got Kemp to come.
Yep, some good young talent to come over the next few batters. Jack Kemp in at 3, really starting to show some promise now. He scored a terrific 75 not out a couple of weeks ago against Old Victorians to sort of help Farmers to really secure the first spot in the round robin, so that Farmers could automatically qualify for finals day. That was a terrific knock from Jack, who's starting to really mature as a batter and a wicket keeper. After him, we've got Julius Samora.
I was going to say, so Julius was here but didn't bowl, so presumably has an injury of some sort. And
it was the intervention last weekend, so Jersey versus Guernsey in the three T20 internationals. Julius in the second game just sort of pulled up with a little glute injury, and it's nothing too serious. But and
what's he like as a batter? Because I sort of think of him the times I've seen him as a bowler. But.
Yeah, he's a very dangerous batter. He's a seriously clean striker of the cricket ball. He's electric between the wickets as well. So definitely one to look out for.
And played his part in the field with one of the direct hits.
Definitely, he's a superb fielder. He's one of the best in Jersey, without a shadow of a doubt. He's got a terrific arm. He's a great mover. Big long limbs to reach those extra balls that some of us might not quite reach. But he's a fantastic athlete as well, Julius. So Aston into his 3rd consecutive over here. He's doing a good job for St One's. Always tough bowling a 3rd consecutive over, particularly in the power play.
He's done well.
He has bowled nicely.
And some pace and carry through there as well. I think, I suppose with Harrison Carlyon as captain, he knows what it's like to be a 16-year-old bursting onto the scene and having some faith shown in you and getting you into a side and throwing you the ball to open the bowling here. And he's certainly showing some faith in Barney Aston, and he seems to be repaying it. He's bowled well. Definitely, and he's certainly looking like he's not lacking on confidence, being 16 years old, and he's throwing bouncers down at some very good players. That's going into the crowds, and all the way for 6. Yeah, that's not the ball to bowl at Joel. He's got the field set for back of a length, and he's just erred a little bit there and sort of gone into the slot, and Dudley's been able to put him away, so he's going to look to drag his length back here, I think. It's gone with this what seemed to be the slower ball, and then a misfield, and having made a bright start last couple of deliveries, not gone to plan. 6 followed by that 4 there. And Farmers suddenly race on to 34 without loss. Yeah, that was well put away by Dudley, but I think that St One's boys might be a bit disappointed with the fielding there. Looked like he could have done better, and when you don't have a massive total to play with, every run is so important. It's kind of hazy sunshine over the ground now as that one's pulled away really nicely. 1 bounce 4 by the looks of things. And 6-4-4. That's better than your 4 followed by a 1 from earlier. A 6 followed by a 4 is even better. Yeah, really good batting this from Dudley. A nice platform's been set, and I think being none down after 4 overs really gives you licence to start trying to cash in the last 2 overs of the power play. So very, very good batting. Yeah, a bit aerial, but it will go all the way down to that far corner, and 4 consecutive boundaries for Joel Dudley, and he moves into the high 20s. Yeah, big over for that in the context of this final. An over of 19, I think that is, it's significant when you've only got 134 on the board. They can't afford too many more overs. Too many more overs like that. It's going to hurt some ones. But here comes Miles again. He's a fighter, and he's certainly not going to give up. Yeah, and he's been trusted in this power play to try and keep the runs down. What's he conceded so far? 8 off his 2, so he's certainly done what's been asked of him here at the start. But feel like some wickets are needed pretty soon for for St One Springfield if they're to have a chance in this contest. Here he comes again.
Good boys!
Run rate now up at 8.4 in these opening 5 overs.
Well bowled. Jams in the Yorker. I think he knew Dudley was probably on the attack, and Miles is right up to the challenge.
Yeah, he does have the ability to fire them in, doesn't he, Miles, if he needs to. That's a full toss, that's up in the air. That will carry to the fielder, and that is the first wicket that was much needed by St One Springfield. Caught on the boundary.
Yeah, well deserved by Miles. He's bowled very nicely. These are tough overs up the hill into the wind. But you know, he's plugged away, bowled good balls, and he's got a well-deserved wicket there. Dudley was you know, looking to take him down, but Miles, you know, right up for the challenge, and yeah, brilliant bowling again.
So 43 for 1. Dudley traipses off back to the pavilion, having hit the majority of his last 5 or 6 balls to the boundary. He's looking good, but goes for 29. And Kemp is the next man out of the pavilion and out to the middle to join Greenwood. What can you tell us about Kemp?
Yeah, so young Jack Kemp's been in and around the Jersey setup recently. He's made his T20 international debut in Spain earlier in the year as a keeper batter. He's a very talented young cricketer, hits the ball hard, he's got good hands behind the stumps. You know, a big boy for his age as well. So he's going to be a really important part of our under-19s team, and you know, certainly in and around the Jersey setup going forwards. He's not been selected for our trip to Germany. Next week we've got Jake Dunford with the gloves, and you know, he's an unbelievable wicket-keeper, Dunford. So you know, I think Kemp's time will come, but he needs to keep working hard. But he's a good young player.
That one just jammed out. Looked to be maybe bat on to pad.
Yeah, well bowled again from Miles.
Yeah, so he's not just been economical, he's got his wicket now as well. Just the 9 runs from his 2.4 overs. Ooh, and a bottom edge there.
Yeah, a bit streaky there from Kemp, but you know, he'll be happy to accept a fortunate 2.
Last ball of the over coming up then, of his 3rd over. Yeah, he's done well. Just the 2 bowlers used them in those first 6 overs. 3 apiece.
Yeah, I think Farmers probably be the happier side coming out of that power play, but you know, it's still game on here with a run rate of over 6 and over. Anything can happen. A couple of wickets, Farmers will be right under pressure. So yeah, some interesting cricket to come ahead. Obviously now the power play's done, the field can spread, and I'm sure St Ones will probably be utilising all 5 of their fielders on the boundary. So it'll make boundary certainly harder to come by. But yeah, an interesting passage of the play coming up.
Yeah, I guess now it's about keeping the scoreboard ticking over, and with the boundary protected, picking up the 1s and 2s. And make sure it keeps moving in the right direction. Carlyon it is who's coming on.
Yeah, bowled very well earlier in the day. Was it 4 wickets?
I think so, yeah.
4 wickets.
And he's scored in the 40s in both his innings as well, yeah.
Yeah, he's a very canny bowler, always nagging away at the top of the stumps. Horrible to bat against. He's being primarily a batter himself. He's always one step ahead of the game. He knows what the batters are trying to do, and you know, bowls what he knows that will make it difficult for the batters to kind of get him away.
.46 for 1 is the score. Ooh, a bit of a
Little misfield there might cost. No, just a single.
yeah, a bit of a heave across the line, wasn't it? But yeah, Misfield might have tempted them into a second, but there's no need to take those kind of risks at this time for them.
Yeah, certainly a good bit of intent from Kemp though. I think the mandate that he's been given is, you know, we've got a long batting line-up. Feel free to go out and express yourself, and you know, let's not get this over the. Let's not get this game over the line in the 20th over. See if Farmers can chase this in 16 overs, which is, you know, when you're chasing a low score, I think that's important.
Good start from Harrison Carlyon, beating the bat there. 47 for 1. Thought about a cheeky little run there, but would have been tight.
Yeah, would have been
right
tight.
to send him back.
I think so.
Start 0-H, start 0-H.
Well worked for one by Greenwood, but you know, St Ones will be pretty happy with singles here. Just 3 runs off the first 5 balls of this over, and St Ones will be, you know, dots and ones are their, you know, bread and butter right now, and will sort of help to drag them back into the game pretty quickly. And that'll be another single for Kemp, so 4 off a very tight over from Carlyon.
Yeah, come into the attack and has made a difference again.
Bob, do that one. Long off.
49 for 1, the scoreboard here is showing. We just lost the scoreboard on the screen for a short while. We'll get that back as soon as we can. 49 for 1, 7 overs now gone. And is that Dom Blompe coming on, I think? At the far end. This is the batting to come. Obviously, not necessarily in this order, but that's the batsman still in the pavilion, awaiting their turn in the middle and possibly hoping they're not required. First ball just dragged down a little bit by Dom there, and again there's a fielder there out circling that part of the boundary, and it's just the one. 50's up inside the 8th over.
Yeah, an important passage of play this. Dom's a great spinner on his day, and you know, he could well run through a Farmer's batting lineup. Spinning it both ways, he's difficult to bat against.
Yeah, that's going to go through, slip through the fielder, and 4 more.
Yeah, another untidy piece of fielding there from St Ones. Can't afford to give too many away here.
Yeah, not able to pierce that inner ring at that moment. Miles swooping to stop that one from going through. Didn't have any protection behind him, so did well to stop that one. Ooh. Big shout goes up.
Big shout.
It's hard to tell from our angle.
Maybe just sliding down the leg side potentially. But yeah, certainly no harm in giving a big appeal.
That one just dropped short, and that is going to go all the way for 6.
Yeah, dragged down and dispatched. You can't afford to give Greenwood those gifts. He will put them away. But yeah, a good shot nevertheless. But yeah, not Dom's best delivery.
Giving himself a bit of space there, and again it gets through the field, and they're going to race back for a couple. Greenwood keen to get back for his second there, and does so.
Yeah, more good batting from Greenwood there, and another good over from Farmers. Keep the scoreboard ticking over.
62 for 1 is the score.
Do you want some bread?
And
No?
8 overs down. Greenwood going at more than a run a ball, and the run rate overall at 7.75, more than enough at this stage, especially with 9 wickets in hand. Harrison Carline's going to continue. We'll have a change in the commentary box in a moment.
Well, ball from Carline.
Good eye, good eye.
Yeah, he's really impressed today on finals day. Both matches, both innings of both matches actually. With the ball in hand and the bat in hand. That one's a little bit wider though, and it's a good stop. Good piece of fielding this time.
Very well fielded. Was that Sam Patadar?
Yours, dude.
But yeah, a great stop, and certainly saves a couple more.
Yeah, Patadar it was,
Good
16-year-old.
Good son. Good this height. Hold this height.
Keeping it relatively tight, Harrison. It's not seemingly causing them any great issues with his bowling at the minute, but he's keeping it tight. They're not able to pump him around the ground.
Good height, good height.
Another strike by Kempe, takes one down the ground. But yeah, as you say, Tim, it's good bowling from Carline. Got some ones, you know, builds pressure. And yeah, Harrison's certainly plugging away. He's not giving away any freebies. He's making the batters work hard for their runs. This is good stuff.
Yeah, another one straight to the fielder, extra cover, no run. And he gets through the overs quickly as well, actually.
Yeah, I'd be looking to get out of this over without another boundary. But Greenwood on the attack. It's well fielded out at extra cover. Fantastic bit of work. Restricts Farmers to just 2 there. But yeah, still another good over from St Wands.
Right, Juggy, we'll thank you for joining us in the commentary position. We'll switch you out, sub you out, and bring the chairman in.
Cheers, Tim. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. And enjoy the rest of the weekend. Chaggy Pershard there, Jersey cricket captain, Farmers player, not out there today, carrying a slight injury, but joining us in the commentary box. 67 for 1, then 9 overs gone in this run chase. Greenwood on 29 and Jack Kemp just kind of getting started in his innings, I suppose, on 7 at the moment. We've got John Harris, chairman of Jersey Cricket, alongside me, and looking a little one-sided this.
It is, Tim. Yeah, I mean it's a shame in a way, but all cricket matches turn on moments, don't they? And maybe the Harrison Carline dismissal in the first knock by St Wands was the key moment here. Without that, might have been a bigger score, might have been in a more even match, scoreboard pressure and so on. So, but you know, it's been a very good day. Quite a splendid spectacle down here today.
Yeah, been great to see the crowd in. That one's smashed out to the leg side by Greenwood's, just the one on this occasion. It's been great to see the number of young players involved on such a big day for Jersey cricket. There's 16-year-olds, 2 or 3 in each side.
I agree with you. I think that's one of the real positives, and 1 or 2 of those young players have performed well. Robbie Forrest, he's not quite so young now as the 16-year-olds, but he made a real mark on the game this morning and threatened a bit again in the second game, the one we're watching now. And although it might have gone unnoticed, there was a young lad, Sam Patadar, who came in the end of St Wands innings, and you could see that there's something about the lad, and he can make an impact on the game. And there have been other contributions as well. So it's very encouraging to see these youngsters coming through, and such an important part of our system to develop young players.
71 for 1. Reminder, the target is 135. And Kush Patak continues from that end, the far end as we look on. For those of you that know the Farmers Ground, our commentary position is just next to the pavilion here. We're just alongside the scorer's hut. And it's been, the weather's played ball as well.
The weather's been
You want on days like this.
absolutely right. Yeah, the weather's been fantastic, particularly hot this morning, a bit more comfortable this afternoon. Perfect for watching cricket. And it's so nice to see a big crowd out.
Here comes Patak again. Just an easy one out there. Considered briefly whether to come back for a second, but think better of it, and I think probably the right decision. There's no need for Farmers to take any risks at the moment, is there? You know?
Not really. I mean, they've got so many overs in hand, 11 overs to get 60 odd runs. It's a run a ball, but on a wicket like this and with their batting depth, I think that makes it a relatively straightforward assignment.
Well, we're at the midway point in the run chase in terms of the number of overs bowled. At least 10 overs in, so the players will break for a quick drink and a quick get together about how they're going to play things for the second part of this innings. It's a tough ask for St. Springfield from here, though. It's going to be a tough old ask, but you're right. You know, it's still a runner ball that's required. What we've got needs 62 from 10. Yeah, so pretty much a runner ball. And stranger things have happened.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of cricket, and particularly T20 cricket, isn't it, Tim? You know, you never know what could happen. 3 balls, a hat trick, something strange like that. You know, an amazing run out, and the whole game shifts momentum. I suspect we might not see that today, though. I think Farmers probably got far too much, really, from here to find themselves in too much trouble. But and of course, the great thing about this cricket now, this T20 Finals day in particular, is that there's a great prize at the end of it, but there's also jeopardy. You've got the incentive of the trip to Spain and the T10 slogfest. I'm not quite sure what you want to characterise it as.
Pretty much what it is, yeah.
But it's a spectacle and it's colourful, and it's. I think what's important is that it's fun for the players as well. You know, they really do enjoy it, and it's something a little bit different, but they can still showcase their skills, and they'll be seen, you know, by a wide audience doing so. And obviously, it's quite an event with the colourful commentary and so on and so forth. So that's been a big change, I think. It's one of the changes that we've tried to embrace in domestic cricket and really make domestic cricket more of a priority than perhaps it's been in more recent years. Yeah, and you see with the crowd gathering here today in to watch it, it's drawn people in, friends and family in to watch. And I think most people would say that going into today, Farmers would have been the favourites. They're at home, they finished top of the league to get straight to the final. They didn't tire themselves out by having to play this morning. No, well, we forget, don't we, the 2 games of T20, there's only 40 overs. Yeah, true. Or 80 overs, if you like, in terms of total game time. But it is quite tiring, it's a long day. So Farmers' massive advantage in having only 1 game to play today. But it doesn't always work like that. You know, sometimes the team that has tuned up in the morning comes a bit better prepared and with a bit of momentum, and they know the conditions and so on. So I don't think we're going to see that today, though. No, well, there's still a relatively strong breeze out there. The flags are flying, but we mentioned that we've been treated to good weather, but it is a bit chillier now, isn't it? It's, I know we're in the shade here in the commentary position, but I'm sure it's not chilly out there in the middle when you're Greenwood with a helmet on running up and down. But oh, I think he's used to it. Yeah, I think he's spent enough time doing that of late. He's spent a fair bit of time doing that. Yeah, it's a very interesting situation with Nick, because he's come over, played a bit of cricket domestically in Jersey. He's played in the UK in our summer. Obviously, he spends his summers, our winters in New Zealand. He's a tremendous asset to the national team. But you can see he's got that little bit of extra time when he bats. Yeah. It's just slightly different. Yeah, it looks classy, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks really very easy on the eye. And it's nice to have him as a member of our national team. Well, here come the players back out for the last overs of the day. We don't know how many there'll be, up to 10. And
I think now for farmers, they'll be looking just to rotate the strike, keep, as we said, it's a runner ball, so rotate the strike, make sure you get your runner ball and hit the odd boundary and you're there. But at the same time, you don't want it to get all nervous in the 19th over and you still need 7 more. And
I often try and put myself in the shoes of the fielding captain in a situation like this and think, well, what do you do? I mean, people say, well, you should gamble, but how do you gamble? I mean, you know, the best bowler obviously is somebody you're going to have to bring on earlier in the piece than you would otherwise have done. If there's a wicket taker, particularly pace bowler, then you'd be looking to bowl them in the 11th or 12th or 13th over rather than the 18th or 19th, because the game's gone by then.
It's Harrison Carlyon to continue. The batsman's not quite ready.
So jersey number 2 batsman bowling to the jersey number 1 batsman. Nice symmetry.
So who comes out on top? Well, it's well turned into the leg side. Awful lot of space there.
So we touched on those young players earlier, and obviously watching another ball now. So down into the leg side.
Yeah, the youngsters. Yeah.
You know, we're playing a lot of international cricket now as a national side, and we're coming up against a lot of European sides who, let's put it this way, they have a lot of people from other parts of the world playing for them. So we played Spain recently in April, very early in the season.
This is a dicey run, or it would have been
interesting with a direct hit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have been out with a direct hit, or even if it had been a bit closer to the stumps and Carlyon was there, but no, not to be. But yeah.
So their model is basically, you know, they have immigrant communities who love cricket, so of South Asian heritage, Afghanistan, etc. And you know, their teams are almost entirely made up of cricketers from that part of the world. So it's immigration fueled, effectively, or second generation, and so on. Yeah. We simply don't have that opportunity. We have to more or less create all our cricketers from within. So the development programme, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, through to the first team, is absolutely critical. So when you see 4 or 5 16, 17-year-olds out there in a pretty high standard game of cricket like this, it's very gratifying, because that's the future. And without being able to manage to see 2 or 3 of each of that age group come through each year to international standard, then we're going to struggle.
Yeah, it's promising to see those in all 3 lineups that we've seen today, actually.
I agree. So Harrison Carlyon, nice easy single for Greenwood out to the extra cover boundary. He doesn't really look in any hurry, does he?
No. So, but only 16 off the 3 overs from Harrison so far. So he's not been smashed about. But it's wickets really that will slow things up here. Wickets are what's needed.
Need a burst of wickets very quickly if this is going to be a contest, I think. I think the scoreboard's a little behind. That was the 11th over.
11 gone. Yeah, I don't think it's the scoreboard here at the ground is showing 10, but 11 bowled, 80 for 1 is the score, and going at just over 7 and over at the moment, and 9 wickets still in hand is perhaps the key to the strength of this position for the home side.
Yeah. Oh, an implant. I never heard of that. Shot.
Nicely played. Just the one again. Out to the boundary.
A little bit of a lack of fireworks at the moment, but there's none needed, are there? It's quite a straightforward chase at this time. Oh yeah, as I speak, he spoons it into the air, but skewed out towards deep mid-off, quite long off, but and 2 runs. No,
yeah,
1 run.
Yeah, just got under that, didn't he?
Hit the outside of the bat.
Yes. Kush Patak continues. A bit of width on that delivery. Yeah, it all feels a bit pedestrian. Nice afternoon in the sun watching the cricket at the moment.
Well, we talked a little earlier about jeopardy. You need a bit of jeopardy in sporting contests, don't you? So Winner takes all, I suppose, but cricket's a long game, and even as T20 sort of has its pattern and it develops a narrative over time, and this one not quite gone to sleep, but it's looking like a comfortable stroll for Farmers. So we need something extraordinary to happen. You never know.
Well, that's why we like sport. There's a big appeal, and
There
finger
is a
up
wicket,
very
yeah.
quickly, and there is a wicket, and it's Jack Kemp that goes, playing across the line, and the finger was very quick to go up, and I don't expect that to be the start of a big comeback, but they all start somewhere, and that is why we all enjoy sport, is because you never quite know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I was consider himself slightly unfortunate there, although he did play across the line. It, from this angle, looked maybe a little high. But
Yeah, we're just seeing it there on the replay. There's a big stride in as well.
yeah, it's quite a long way forward.
Obviously, we've not got the line from that view, but you can see there's a big stride in. And here comes Julius Samarar, who's in the side today, carrying a bit of an injury, I think. But he didn't bowl, but he's fit enough to swing the bat.
He's a force to be reckoned with the bat.
Yeah.
I remember him here 2 years ago against Uganda, won us a game, hit about 4 or 5 over there into the netting area and beyond. Very powerful batsman when it's his day. Impressive cricketer, actually. Very impressive cricketer.
Yeah, well, while he takes guard, we can look ahead. Jersey in action in all kinds of formats, all kinds of wonderful locations around the world through the summer. We were speaking about the women earlier on during the broadcast and their recent matches as well. But there's the T20 coming up in Germany, was it?
It is in Germany, Tim, which is an interesting one because Germany don't have any grass wickets, so the whole tournament is going to be played on mat wickets. And basically we play our cricket on grass wickets. So the recent games in Guernsey, who also have a tournament in the same qualifying series but in a different location at a different time, put on 3 games recently, T20 games, where we played them on mats, which is a bit incongruous when you have a perfect grass wicket alongside and you're playing on a mat, but that's all preparation for this German tournament. It is a leveller, a mat. It does bring other teams a little more into the equation because our spinners will be less effective. Even our pace bowlers, it's a little more unpredictable how they'll go on a mat wicket. But we're obviously very hopeful. It's an interesting format. There are 2 parallel leagues, and that lead to a final on the final day. Germany are in the other half. We're in our half. If we both win our respective halves, then we meet in the final. And Germany are no pushover. They're no pushover at all. They're developing their cricket. They've got more money in the game. They've got a solid core of players now, and they're trying hard to push up to the next level. So I don't think we should be remotely complacent about anything in this qualifier. I think it's going to be quite a challenge.
Bit of bounce there as it goes past the bat, past Greenwood's bat. We have seen a bit of bounce at various times through today on this wicket. Just fired that one in a bit more. Carline, he continues his miserly spell.
Yeah, that's well run, very well run, and that's a feature of, I think, increasingly a feature of our national cricket, but you see it in the club cricket scene as well, is the ability to run 2s and really push hard. Coaches generally hate it if you stroll a single. They would like you to put the fielder under pressure at all time.
Just dropped that one a little shorter and turned around the corner.
It's all very well having the technology down here, but it's not going to do sharp umpiring sinkers.
So what are we looking at now? We're looking at 47 runs to win.
Get it right.
From the best part of 7 and a bit overs. So.
Nice shot, just looks completely at ease out there, and is in the 40s now, is Nick Greenwood. Saw Don Blompe score 60 earlier today, top scorer of the day so far.
And he batted very nicely, didn't he? He paced his innings very well, he put a bit of power on, but he made sure his team got to a good score with that innings. He got a few in the second game as well, so it's nice to see Don doing well. Very useful cricketer, utility cricketer in bowl, can bat. And very much, again, a product of our system.
That's the end of Carlyon's spell. Harrison finishing with 4 overs, no wickets for just the 22 runs conceded.
Decent effort in a T20, any
Yeah.
T20.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So have you enjoyed the day, Tim?
I've enjoyed the day, yeah. It's been great to see the number of people coming up to support. It's been some good cricket. I mean, the stop on the boundary that stopped to 6, and then the run out was excellent. Yeah, the batsman mix up, but the stop itself, and there's been some great run outs actually, some direct hits. So yeah, there've been a couple of games that haven't been as close as sort of as a neutral you would want, but it's still been a high quality of cricket at times.
Well, we have the T20 series, which of course finishes today. Then we move on to the Channel Island League.
Yep.
Our clubs will be playing against Guernsey equivalents, and that's a welcome re-addition to the calendar. It started back again last year. Again, we've been working hard with Guernsey to make sure that happens. And I think, again, it just introduces some variety. Not always playing against the same people.
Yeah.
You can test your skills and your capabilities against some cricketers you don't usually come up against. And you know, we're lucky we've got a sponsor for that particular tournament, I suppose.
Great.
Which is very good. One of the great things the board has to do is to constantly try to refresh our sponsorship. You take nothing for granted. We've got a good long-term deal with Brooks Macdonald, who of course are the main sponsor here today. But there's other opportunities for other tournaments, and we try and make sure that there's always somebody behind us financially on each of these occasions. Otherwise, it doesn't happen.
Just doesn't happen, yeah. Yeah, that's one of the challenges of grassroots sport, isn't it? The sponsorship and finding the money to plough back into the game and make events and things like this happen. Here comes Blompey again. He continues a bit full that. He dragged one. Oh, he's claiming the catch, is he?
I don't think he can claim that. I think that was.
I thought that. Look, well, we are a long way away, but I thought that touched the ground. We'll have a look on the replay in a moment and see. But the umpire's put his finger in the air and given him out. And given him out, if it's Greenwood, which it is on 49. So I don't think Greenwood's going to be particularly happy about that if he saw it the same way that we saw it. But we'll have a look on the replay. It may well have been clean.
I think he looks doubtful, Tim. I think he looks very doubtful.
Here we are. Here's the replay. Came in off the ropes. Well, so it's that moment where it didn't look completely clean, but at the same time, looking at the replay there, I'm not sure if it definitely touched the ground either. So, you know, the fielders.
It's a little bit of a tell that the fielder looked to throw it straight back in. You know, usually you throw the ball in the air, don't you, if you're convinced?
There you are. So it's sort of caught in his wrists by the looks of things there.
Yeah, if you zoomed that would be probably held up. Yeah.
So I think it's in his wrists. So it wasn't a particularly clean catch, but
anyway,
possibly it's been given anyway. So Greenwood goes on 49, 96 for 3.
Maybe this is the start of the big 38 to win, 39 to win. Sorry.
Well, it's another wicket. I think it was a full toss, wasn't it, from memory? So it's another wicket from a full toss. We've seen a few of those today. That one's pitched up as well, but it's just turned out into the leg side for a single, and that completes the 14th over. 14 overs down now, and that run at the end will take the scoreboard to 97 for 3 in a moment.
Julius in a very unfamiliar role of shepherding, you know, the middle order through to the target. See how he goes about this. Be interesting. I mean, if it's up there and it's there to be hit, he's going to hit it.
Well, James Smith is the batsman at the other end, in with Julius. But I think you're right. I think if there's something in the slot, it could well go. 6 overs remaining available to farmers in this chase to be crowned the champions here on finals day, and that right to go and play in the European T10.
Boys, come on!
Now it's going to be Miles to bowl out here. His 4th over so far, 3 overs, 1 for 11.
Which is a very good,
then, boss.
good
Come on
effort.
then, boss.
Otherwise, solid batting effort. So he's a difficult bowler to get away. Actually, he's always had a very
darts it in, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and he's always been difficult to get under the ball.
Yeah, good goose!
Just off the pad, but going down leg, so no real appeal there. And, a dot ball there as he continues to not concede too many runs. 11 off his 3.1 is in this sort of situation is exceptional.
In the interest of a good game, I mean, 2 more wickets quickly would definitely make life a little more tricky for farmers. Out to square leg there, nice fielding, good throw.
Good lads, good
Well,
lads.
how have you found the ground fielding here today? I know it's a good deck here generally. Outfield's fast and
Yeah, I think
even.
in each innings we've had a few misfields. I guess you're always going to get some, but there's also been some great stops too. So a mixed bag, I suppose, is how I would describe it. One more.
Keep dragging it out here, boys, come on!
No fireworks from Julius yet.
No, biding his time.
Yeah, like you say, he is very difficult to get away, Elliot Miles.
Good, Elliot.
Difficult to
Go
get
get it,
to
Buster.
rampart. He doesn't have the pace on the ball. Getting down the ground, you don't get the elevation. And he's bowled in some tight situations throughout his cricketing career. On the international stage, so he knows what he's doing.
Hold, Elliot.
Unfortunately, this is his last over, so
Take it real deep here,
he won't be
boys.
able to
Very
influence
good
the
here,
game
lads.
after this too much.
That's the 100 up in the 15th over.
Bow Buster!
For the loss of the three wickets. So going at 6.82 and over, and that's pretty much the required run rate as well.
Absolutely.
Now, what's happened here? Just taking a
Sure.
breather.
Buster.
Seems ready to bowl now.
Ease down the ground by Julius Samaral. Leaves Elliot Miles just the 2 balls to bowl.
Bow Buster. Very
Another
good here,
1 ball
mate.
to bowl. I can't add up.
Yeah,
excuse me.
last ball coming up of an
Get
impressive
out the
spell.
over then, Bus.
Impressive spell.
Both him and Harrison, to be honest, have had economical.
Similar bowlers in a way.
Yeah.
One's left arm, one's
Yeah.
right arm, but they both darted in there. Not a lot of flight from either of them.
Just stopped on him a little bit there, and not off the middle, but another one, and that's 5 ones in a row to complete the over. And Elliot Miles finishes with 4 overs, 1 wicket for 16 runs off his bowling, and that takes us to the 15 over mark. So 5 overs to go. Still a little bit of work for the batting side to do, but edging ever closer.
It never quite ceases to amaze me. You think the game's well and truly over. I mean, when you say it like that, I know it's a run of ball and that should be fine, especially with wickets in hand. But it's amazing how many of these games do go deeper than you think.
Yeah, and you've still got to do it.
You've got to get over that line that they talk about all the time. On the other hand, a couple of quick boundaries and it looks completely different again. So, if we had a win viz, Tim, what would you be giving?
Ooh,
I think the
87 ish.
Yeah, I think you're right. You'd be about a mere, at most, 10% isn't one from here. But excuse me.
Bit of an appeal from Don Blompe there. Not major, not really a major chorus joining in with his appeal from his teammates.
Yeah, was a little bit Johnny No Notes on that one,
Yeah.
wasn't he? So, so Farmers do a fantastic job, obviously, in Jersey cricket. They have an excellent first-rate facility here.
Yeah.
Capable of hosting international games, and for a tournament finale such
Oh,
as
good stop.
this,
Good stop on the boundary. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Excellent stop.
apologies.
Yeah, they've done. You're right, and the barbecue looks like it's done good business. Been going most of the day.
I think the bar's been doing a fair shift as well. And so made Jimmy very happy here at the Farmers Cricket Club in Jersey. Jimmy, of course, who puts in so much work on that wicket that we're looking at, which is a labour of love. We were talking about it earlier in the day and saying it's an art, not a science, but that wicket traditionally plays very, very well. It's a good deck for cricket, and we get entertained on a regular basis, don't we?
We do. So what have we got? Both batsmen pretty much similar scoring strike rates at the moment. 6 from 6, 6 from 7. And Smith just turns that one around the corner, happy to, or guides it around the corner, happy to go through for another single.
Feels a little bit as if Julius is waiting for the opportunity. That certainly wasn't it. He just played a miss. Bounced a little bit more than he thought, I think, on that one.
Bat on it this time, but can't get a run. And this is some tight bowling as well from Don Blompe here. This is into his just coming to the end of his third over. Well, that's what he went for. You called it. You said he was trying to line one up, and he's bowled by Blompe, and 4 down now.
And now all of a sudden we have us on one side re-energised, because that's the nature of cricket, T20 cricket particularly. So they'll have a bit of belief. What have we got? We've got 4 overs to go.
4 overs to go, 30 runs needed.
So somebody's got to get them over the line. As we did say a little bit earlier in commentary, an over or two ago, that a couple of wickets down would slightly change the calculus, and I think that's happened. So we have more of a game on now.
Yeah, well, it's the big hitting Scott Van Bredar, former Jersey rugby player. Former Jersey Reds player that's making his way out.
This will not be dull.
No, this could be quite lively. And big, strong man. But I wonder if it's the time for a big hitter, or just someone that can keep pushing it around. But
I think if it's just a push around, a couple of big boundaries are needed really, just to calm it all down in the shed for Farmers. And on the other hand, if someone can just keep it tight for another couple of overs, it starts to get very interesting. You really don't want to go into the last over needing 9 runs or something of that nature. So it has been a bit of a turnaround we've seen here, and of course, as ever, it's some wickets that have done it.
yeah, it's the wickets that do it. Hayward is coming on now. Hasn't bowled yet in this innings. There's a bit of pace being put on the ball, which is an interesting call to put some pace on the ball when someone like Scott has gone out there.
Which is presumably what he likes. He likes a bit of pace.
Well, it should mean the ball comes off the bat quicker if he could X, but we shall see. It's James Smith that's on strike first up though, and this first ball from Adam Hayward.
Just looking a little harder, isn't it, to get it off the square and hit through the line. And the game is tightening, definitely.
Yeah, it has. It's that getting over the line, isn't it? Is never easy.
Start, Sad.
What are we looking at? We're looking at 23 balls and 30 runs. That will be a very interesting change of momentum, a big-ish 6 square leg. James Smith.
Yeah, really connected with it nicely, and over the leg side and or through the leg side and over the boundary for a maximum.
I think that might settle the dressing room down quite a lot. Another couple of those in their home, really. But it's been, it's good to just heard somebody comment off to my left that they're making hard work of this, and that is true. It's proving more difficult than we might otherwise have imagined.
One more. Seven runs then conceded so far in this over, halfway through it.
The other great tell in a cricket match, of course, is the crowd, and we have quite a big crowd here today, and they've gone quite quiet, haven't they? There's just a little bit of an absorbed nature of the watching going on, just wondering if there's been a shift in momentum.
Yeah, well, it just had been drifting along a little bit, hadn't it, as we said in commentary, but it's people back watching and alert suddenly. So much space there to turn it into on the leg side, and probably not where Hayward would have wanted to pitch the ball. Just some of the smoke from the barbecue drifting across the outfield, actually. Don't know if that's a new farmer's tactic to
distract the
outfielders.
Side.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll fall for it. They're still pretty fired up. There's still something in this game. It's another big.
Is that going to beat the man?
Oh yes, beaten by the spin.
Yeah,
spun on him.
I think it did, and he sort of got ahead of it, didn't it, and then back the other way. And you're right, a couple of quick boundaries, and it does change the complexion of the game. It swung one way, and now I think with the 6 and the 4, just settled some of those nerves that might have started to seep in the farmers' camp.
I mean, somewhat of a competitive side. They've made both games.
They played well both games. Yeah,
they have played well, and I mean, it's a little bit off the bottom end of the bat, but safely into space on the leg side. Another single. Yeah, I think with such a big prize at the end, I mean, that's probably no consolation to have people say that you've played well, but it certainly beats playing badly, coming along and just making up the numbers. I think they've been competitive in both games, shown some really good cricket at times.
118 for 4, 17 overs gone. So just the 18 deliveries remaining. And we're at runner ball effectively, near enough.
So what do if we do have the last 3 overs, Dom will bowl this one. I think some of their best weapons are their spinners, and unfortunately they're now out of spinners after this over.
Hayward's only had the one just then, but went for 13. That's a high ball and dispatched to the boundary.
I think that might have slipped out, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, that will please the home supporters, and you're right. There are good numbers here. I think people have enjoyed their day. I think they would have hoped the morning match was a bit closer, and then this one looked like it wasn't going to be particularly close for a while. But there's been some good cricket.
Definitely been some good cricket. That, however,
that's
pretty
big.
Much seals the deal. Into the field.
6
Not
runs.
A full stop. Yeah. Full toss, not a full stop.
Yeah, full toss and absolutely dispatched.
And one more blow to Winton.
And
Another
suddenly
those,
everyone wonders why
there
was suddenly some jeopardy for a moment. Yeah.
Why was ever in doubt. Yeah, it's the nature of the game, isn't it? That somebody said to me, sorry, we just watched this ball from, that's out. Deep wicket boundary, that could go for 4-2, yep. It does, that leaves 2 to win, so it's done and dusted here now. Somebody said to me the other day that 3 balls can change a T20 match, and it can, if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just fine margins.
So 2 to win is the scenario here, and James Smith has played really well for 33 from his 16 deliveries, and big hitting Scott Van Breda's scored 1 from 1.
We haven't seen him. He
No.
hasn't been needed, has he? He's just.
Smith has stepped up. That's short. That's going to be pulled away, and
that's
is
going to be it.
the game.
Yeah.
And Farmer Caesareans will be crowned the champions. They will go off to play in the European T10, and St One Springfield won't get the opportunity. They hadn't been before, and they won't be going to that tournament this year, so they'll be disappointed, especially after a hard-fought win this morning. But they were up against the home side, they're up against the favourites, and ultimately Farmers have won with 2.5 overs to spare, John.
They have, Tim, but I think that someone can probably look at this and say, well, yeah, it's disappointing, but we didn't get close. But the key thing is they got closer over the tournament as a whole, and today they're not that far away from being a very competitive side. There's always the next time, and that's the beauty of sport, isn't it? Isn't there going to be another opportunity, and then they'll go into the CI League now and see how they compete there. Farmers on the day, too much foul power, bowled well, fielded pretty well, and apart from a little small patch there just towards the end, they never really looked in much doubt about getting over the line, and they will be very worthy representatives in Spain in the ECN.
Yeah, the Farmers team just coming out from the pavilion to our right to form a tunnel to congratulate their batsman back in, and Smith really pushed on at the end there when we thought it was going to be Scott Van Breda. It was Smith that got the winning runs, got Farmers over the line, and we'll get some match reaction just as soon as we can for you just before the end of this live stream. We'll try and speak to player or two in a couple of moments' time. But for you, John, a successful day for the Jersey cricket community out in force?
I think that's very, very well said, Tim. I think it is a community feel here at the Farmers. And, as I said earlier in the piece, we're trying to develop the domestic game to the next level so that there's more on it, there's more jeopardy, but a more reward. And more variety, and I think today's been a good example of us collectively as a cricket community making some good progress in that. So looking to build on that for the rest of this season, definitely next year, and we're moving in the right direction. And
a final word from you, one of the next key things then, the Jersey cricket off to Germany, and some of these players will have had a good warm-up for that.
They will have. They'll be playing in an entirely different set of conditions, of course. They'll be playing on a mat in a foreign country against some very intriguing sides who we don't really know a great deal about, actually. And European cricket sides are developing very quickly. So, yeah, it's been good today. Looking forward to that, and thank you very much for the opportunity to come and share some time with
Yeah, thank you for joining us on the live stream. John Harris, chairman of Jersey Cricket. Just before the end of the broadcast, let's bring you some reaction to that win, and Phil is down by the boundary edge with the Farmers skipper.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you, John. James, congratulations. You dragged that out a little bit, but you got there in the end.
Yeah, no, elated to get over the line. We took it a little bit tighter than I think any of us were comfortable with there, but the last 10 balls, all of a sudden, boundary started racing, and it was a great cameo from James Smith just to get us over the line.
Talk to me about those last few shots, because there was boundary after boundary in the end.
Yeah, much to our relief. I was just going to my phone to look up what the rules were in the event of a tie. That was my activities when those boundaries started flowing. So, pretty relieved.
And what does this mean for Farmers as a community, as a cricket club?
Winning the Premier League trophy is such a great trophy for us to win. It's the biggest one locally that we have. We obviously play in the Channel Island League as well, which we're all looking forward to playing. But yeah, we're off to go back into the ECL early next year, which is exciting for our third trip back.
How many of the players on the squad have experienced European cricket, and what will it mean to be on the road in Europe?
I think almost all of our team have now actually experienced the experience, and it is an experience. Maybe all bar one or two of our youngsters coming through, which is great to see. So we're going with quite a lot of experience into the tournament, and I think we'll have a good shot.
Thanks very much. Any final words about your team and the event and the atmosphere here today?
Oh no, it's been outstanding. So yeah, thanks to absolutely everyone involved in organising the event. A special mention to my dad, who's the groundsman up here and puts his heart and soul into this.
Fantastic. Tim, back to you to finish things off.
Thank you, thanks Phil. Phil Bouchard from 3CI Sport asking the questions there, and speaking to James Pershard, the captain of the winning side, Farmer Caesareans, who will lift the trophy and will head off, as we're hearing, to represent our island effectively here in Jersey, go over to Spain and represent our island. So congratulations to them. Thank you for joining us on the coverage today. This broadcast, live stream, both matches today, and our thanks to Brooks Macdonald for the sponsorship of the tournament as well, and this finals day, which didn't have particularly close games, but they were watchable and enjoyable, and there was some great cricket, some great performances throughout from all three sides actually. So thank you very much. Congratulations to Farmers. They march on and they are the champions.